So we are here at the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019. My name is Asarai. This guy with me is Zero, and this has been brought to you by our sponsors, Tencent Games, Garena, CJENM, OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall. From the group stage, now we are here at the playoffs.
Exactly. We have the top 8 teams of the entire AOV region in the world, and they're fighting out for a chance to see who will be the champions of the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019. And today we have a very, very interesting matchup up against us. We have HTVC IGP Gaming versus Unsouled Gaming.
Definitely. This is going to be kind of like a David and Goliath story here, because during the groups for IGP, they were nigh unstoppable. Maybe just going for 1-1 against HKA and Team Olympus, but that's about it. But then USG, on the other hand, they were kind of like barely bottom the barrel, and it's kind of like a bad thing to say, but it's the truth, wherein they're not really performing as well as they would want. And I think this is just more of like because of how not as strong they are with their rotations. They're a bit too timid. They don't like to go for the risky and aggressive plays, and if they would like, they just want to control everything in macro, but that's not how MOBAs go. There has to be a little bit of team fights, a little bit of micro intensive battles, but I think that's when Unsouled Stuff Gaming kind of tends to be a little bit shaky.
Yeah, HTVC IGP Gaming coming from one of the strongest regions for AOV, coming from Vietnam. They are the second seed from AOG Winter, and they have topped the groups of their own group like it's nobody's business. They are just showing why Vietnam is such a strong region, and coming to this matchup, Unsouled Stuff Gaming, they do have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, because again, the only kind of performance that they really did during the group stage was that they won against Liab with a 2-0, and then up against Team AK, they were able to do it 1-for-1. But everything else from the other opponents that they were able to match up, such as, let's say, that was Buriram United Esports, Team Flash, one team, they really just lost 0-2. And again, that's not really a good metric, coming into this game. But of course, with everything said and done, group stage had a different set of rules. And coming into the playoffs, it's gonna be more of like the known playground for these players, which is going to be it's going to be the global ban pick for everyone. If you haven't been following the AIC 2019, it's going to be whatever the team has picked in one map or the one round, they can't pick it for the next round or in the future rounds as well. So that is going to really push all these teams to be very versatile and creative in their drafts. And when we look at the more established teams, especially those with better results, they might not be the most creative team. So coming into this series, the global ban pick might throw a wrench into the plans of IGP Gaming. Yeah, definitely understandable there. So it's just going to be more of like, do you have enough knowledge? You have enough broad knowledge.
Depth,
exactly, the hero depth here in Arena of Valor. It's really going to push you to the limit. And again, this is the quarterfinal. We are going to the playoffs, quarterfinals, and then we have the semifinals, and of course, November 24th is going to be the grand finals, which, these teams, I keep saying this, they're going to be fighting for that first place prize of $200,000 US. Just a cool sum.
It's okay.
It's chump change. But we're kidding. It's not chump change at all. So, as we are just waiting for our game to commence, what do you think, guys there in the chat? Is it going to be easy IGP, or will USG, with the time that they have to prepare, which was probably like 2 to 3 days, enough to set them ready against IGP, which is again a very, very strong, very, very dangerous team to go up against?
Yeah, preparation, comes very key to all these matchups, knowing what your opponent's favorite picks are. And IGP, they are quite easy to read. They have a few set strategies that they have shown throughout the group stages, their Omen and Kriknak combinations. They really like their Yena picks as well. But, in global ban pick, they can only pick all these heroes once. So you have to have an idea on how to, counter these heroes, because you just need to win one round against their preset strategies, and then for the next round, you don't have to face those anymore. So I'm not sure what Unsouled Stuff Gaming have in up their sleeve to play against IGP Gaming.
I just have to say, like, going into a best of 7 with all of these, confounded rules. If another team isn't like really prepared to use every single, tool in the kitchen sink. Considering all the heroes that are here in Arena of Valor, it's going to be very difficult to kind of manage everything. Because again, you said maybe they have to first survive the preset teams.
Yes.
They also have to be able to outlast their opponent, because this is the best of 7, so this is going to really drain them. So it's kind of perfect if you only have one set or one series per day, so this is going to allow these teams to kind of really just focus on the one day that they're going to be performing. And again, this is going to be a battle of attrition.
Yes,
Whoever is able to stay the most consistent will have a better chance at winning. So that's also something to kind of look forward to as we progress to the playoffs.
Yeah, these 7 series really will bring out the best in both of these teams. And of course, while we take a look, while we wait for the match to start, I think it's about to start pretty soon. But which of these, from the side of Unso Stuff, which one of these players do we really have to look out for as the playmaker for the team?
Okay, so since this is kind of like a kind of we know this already type of stuff, supports are really a big key factor of how teams are able to kind of rotate around the map and just be able to set the precedence for the team. And Dejiwolf from USG, from Unsold Stuff Gaming, has been pretty adamant with how he plays with his support. Now, yes, USG hasn't performed as well. I keep saying this again, but Dejiwolf has been really there to kind of give the macro for USG, wherein he's basically everywhere. He's not afraid to kind of go in for fights and try to save his teammates, and he's kind of like, when you see how he rotates, he always tries to figure out where the opposing team will actually set up a gank, which is mostly going to be the mid lane and the ADC lane. And he seems like he's always there to kind of save his teammate. Now, this is where this will come in handy for USG, because IGP really love to force those engages. They don't like to mess around or anything. They want to just keep the pressure rolling. And this is something that I think Dejiwolf might be able to do for USG. So someone to look out for.
Yeah, well, on the other side, IGP, they have, this very star-studded lineup. They have been together for quite some time, at least 2 more seasons. KA, Turtle, Dime, they have been so consistent throughout their entire AOG winter run, and even coming into the AIC 2019, they have been MVPs. All of these players, they have been MVPs in throughout the group stages. So, it's a lot of a cohesive team effort coming from the side of IGP Gaming that Unsold Stuff really have to find a chink in through their armor in order to break them down. So it's promising to be a very tough matchup, but a very interesting one instead.
Yeah. Speaking of interesting, matchups here, I kind of want to talk about how we have I would say this is kind of like the matchup to look out for, which is the ADCs or the carries for both of our teams, which is from USG /Moon. He's been a really good Hayate. If you guys have been seeing the matches, even though they've been, again, underperformed. Why do I keep reminding this to everybody? But again, this is kind of like the thing, right? If they beat them, that means that they're starting to evolve as a team. But anyways, /Moon has been really strong, especially when he gets that Hayate, which is going to be something to point out for, because IGP's Dime also does a really sick Hayate. So if they can get that game 1, pick up the Hayate for themselves, we got ourselves a game wherein, both of these teams would like to kind of ravenously take that hero, because it's really strong. The Connibless from the Hayate really sets a precedence wherein any support that he plays with kind of just mixes so well that he just blinks right in and then activates it, spin to win.
So much damage coming from
exactly.
one of those heroes, but they have to remember, this is global ban pick. You can only pick up that trump card, as some people say it, only once. So other heroes for both of these teams to look out for, they really like their Lindis, they really like their Violets as well. So we'll have to wait and see as we go into the draft what both of these teams will favor in this best of 7.
Yeah, so we're beginning already here, guys. What do you think? Hashtag USG win, hashtag IGP win. Tell us. And maybe I'll read the chat later. But looking immediately at this, USG deny all the starting jungle picks for IGP. They don't want to deal with the Murad. They don't want to deal with the Darcy. These are some really aggressive starting picks for IGP to get with. And it makes a lot of sense. And IGP, on the other hand, they say, we don't want no support.
No Krizix, no Zip, get out of there. None of these strong meta supports are going to be for Unsold Stuff Gaming to pick up in the first round, but looks like Florentino will be the first pick coming from the side of Unsold Stuff. Very strong jungler or Dragon Slayer lane, depending on what sort of composition that USG wants to go for.
Yeah, for the most part, this is just kind of like a really strong pick. Florentino can't win against everybody. I think he loses the matchup to Yena, but at least he is a very strong laner itself. Like, he can survive as long as you need him to be. He's gonna be able to keep the keep the ball rolling even if he's not on top, and that's what I'm talking about. Look at IGP right from the get-go. They get the Hayate second pick, they get the Yena, and this is just gonna set a precedence that both of these teams really want to see the the start off, the man with the plan, the shinobi from down under. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's a Hayate, man.
Yeah, this is one of their favorite compositions so far, pairing up the Yena with the Hayate as the opening few picks. They really like to, start off with these picks because it's just so strong, both individually and playing together as a team. So we have to wait and see what Unso Stuff Gaming has, what their preparation for these few days have prepared for them against IGP, as we do see they also pick up a very strong hero against the Hayate because of his immense burst damage, but it will be very hard to hit the Hayate. Oh, they're just thinking about it, haven't really locked it down.
They're just shuffling a little bit, you know.
Just thinking over it. Crixie and Tel Anas will be, looks like the lock for the side of USG. What do you think about the Tel Anas pick?
I do like it. It means that they want to try to disable the mobility of the skills of the basically the mobility of IGP. Diana is pretty, able to just rotate around the map. You have yourself a lot of wave clear as well with Crixie and Tel Anas. Tel Anas does scale into the late game, so that will kind of set up USG to, even though if they fail to the early game, if they can survive enough, push it to around 13 minutes in, we're gonna be seeing that Tel Anas start to kind of pay up for USG.
Exactly. It's a very mid to late game hero.
Yeah.
Where Hayate is pretty much the same as well. He needs a couple of items to reach his maximum potential of the 150 attack speed. So both of these teams, they do have very strong early game as well as the mid to late game. But looking at the matchup, in terms of ADC versus ADC, who do you think has the upper hand between Tel Anas and Hayate?
I would say Hayate if you can dodge Tel Anas ult. Like that's about it. Like if you can dodge Tel Anas ult, I think Hayate might deal more damage per second than the Tel Anas. But of course that depends on what power level they are when they feature that matchup. But if it's like even, I would say it's the Hayate. And the
Quinlan picked up there for the side of IGP as well. It's a very classic pick for the side of IGP. They haven't really picked that hero so much in the group stages, but this has been one of their favorite picks throughout the AOG winter. Having the Quinlan going towards the jungle position has really paid off for them so far, and we have to wait and see what Lak can actually do with this Quinlan.
I think it's gonna go to the jungle though, because we've seen that kind of like the trend as of the moment. So here's the thing that I don't like about the Killin. I think like he needs a proper support to set up, or a proper team to set up with him. But there's not much in terms of AoE crowd control or initiation for IGP as of the moment. And USG, you're kind of seeing them wait a little bit longer for their last ban because they're trying to think what's the best setup for this Killin. Now, someone would probably be the Baldoom, which is they're hovering over, or the Lumber, which IGP has actually used twice or even more than 2 times during the group stage. And this will definitely help the Killin, kind of set up, because he does play around the mentality of, I need someone to set up for me because I'm an assassin. I'm pretty easy to get picked up on. And if we do have somebody to set up, that'll make my life a little bit easier. And it seems like IGP, to supplement that, they look at the Zenyo.
They haven't really locked it down. They haven't picked up Zenyo throughout the group stages. This might be something that they have been keeping, as a back burner in case in a long series they really need to pick up this hero. Zenyo, great global potential, has nice sustainability as well as the crowd control as well. It's
definitely
a very not underrated as so much for the entire AIC, but more so underrated here by IGP. But they might have a plan with this Zenyo.
I mean, once you get level 4, you kind of allow yourself to be able to
split push the map.
Exactly. So you get yourself that 1-4 split, and then when your Yena, let's say, is in a bit of a trouble, you just activate that ult and bippity boppity do.
Yep, suddenly you can turn fights around. Really great to help with the Quinlan as well, providing that damage reduction for the side of IGP. While, Unsold Stuff Gaming, is that a teamy?
Oh,
looks like they
will
be going for it.
USG is playing a safe draft.
Very defensive draft, in fact.
Exactly, because the thing that you would want to see here is that Teamy will be protecting the Tel-Anas. Crixie will be providing zone. Florentino is just, innately a sustained type of hero. And Zephys, on the other hand, is kind of like playing along the same lines. You want to pick up the Zephys if you want someone to be able to survive for as long as possible.
Fights,
Yeah, exactly. So this means that USG is going to put, well, not really put all their hopes and dreams on the Tel-Anas, but if all goes asunder, if all goes to astray for them, if it doesn't work out, Tel-Anas will be the main man with the action plan. So... And IGP just needs that one more pick, to get maybe an assassin here or somebody who has a good initiate pick-off potential. I'm not sure who would they want to get. Maybe a Raz, but that doesn't really work against a Crixie.
Yeah, they do need... Oh, L'Oreal, it's tanky. Great pairing with the Zenel as well. So this is the classic Zenel-L'Oreal combo that we have. Heroes that they have been playing along with the Yena, with the Hayate, and now with the Quinlan as well, picking up the classic Zenel as well as L'Oreal combo. This feels like a team that's ready to move on to the semifinals, at least for the first round.
Yeah.
This is a long best of 7, but the first round, I don't know, it already seems to be set in stone for me.
I remember this saying to me is that the battle begins in the drafting.
Yes.
Yeah, in the draft, right? So being able to set up the proper team composition will really help you have an edge as we get into the arena. And it seems like that's going to be the case. There you go. There's the virtual trophy right there. And I wonder how heavy it is.
I have no idea, but it does look very heavy, with that gold-platedness. But, enough about that. We have Chobits playing the support for the side of IGP. Lak in the mid. Of course, Ka, Dime, as well as Turtle finishing up the lineup for the Vietnamese team. And of course, their 6th player will be Ness.
I like how his name is Ness because I don't think anybody would kind of get it because it's from another game. But yeah, I'll just tell it to you later.
Okay.
If somebody can actually point that out in the chat, then that's pretty cool. But I won't point it out here. And now here it is, guys. Game numero uno in this best of 7. Unsold Stuff Gaming up against IGP, the Japanese versus the Vietnam squadron, the #1 Vietnam squadron in their region.
Yeah, IGP playing on towards the red side, so that's going to be the Dragon lane on towards the top. Hayate.
Already taking quite a bit of damage there. So you can see already how Dejiwok just kind of like holds his hand with his ADC. This will push up Hayate for the moment. And what this kind of does is that this is going to free up a little bit of space for them to maybe harass the jungle. But the thing about that is that Killen started on the top side, giving a lot more rotational, or not really making this USG aggressive push onto the bottom lane any depth whatsoever, so it's not going to work out well for them. As now Zenial joins in onto the fight, they can't really push up into the jungle anymore.
Yep. Zephys though getting the blue buff. Oh, Yena dropping quite low, and a solo kill coming from Mai Ka, underestimating the damage coming out from the Florentino, and down she goes. First blood goes towards the way of the Japanese squad, and what a way to set a pace for the first map.
This This is kind of just like a different way of saying making the ladies fall for him. Yeah.
Yeah, Florentino, smooth dandy over there.
Exactly. Oh, there's
Zephyr's rotation.
Michael for a gank already. 4 people. This is not how USG usually operates, but it seems like that's going to be the case. Look at the knockup from Soda there. What a sniper from this man. But they may have a little bit overstayed their welcome because here comes Lack. Look at the damage, the AoE as well. Slashmoon activating his range there. Dime has to actually escape, but Hippie gets the double kill, actually dives right in, and Mai from up above, okay, this is looking too good. They're going to be able to dash underneath the tower, and there he is. He gets it, and he's able to escape, and this is USG 5-1 in the kills.
The mobility coming up from all these heroes of USG has just been proving so strong, and the early game damage, especially coming from Zephys, as well as the Florentino, just melts the heroes from the side of IGP, and they find themselves 5-1 right now. And that is the perfect start for an underdog team.
I actually didn't even see the mini-map just to kind of, figure out where the Florentino came from. Like, out of nowhere, he just popped up. That is huge for USG. And this is definitely a we are here type of game.
I mean, look at that. Hippie knowing his limits, Florentino as well, knowing the amount of damage he can do, and as well as sustain before backing out there. Getting himself that quick kill is going to boost him so much in terms of economy. As you can see, it's going to be at least 1,000 gold difference. But the Bristle Dragon will be picked up there by IGP. So slowly salvaging that the early skirmish loss for the side of IGP. They are not giving up yet.
Unsolved Gaming are kind of setting something up here in the bottom lane. Hippie was right at the side. They were trying to coax IGP into forcing a team fight, but IGP know better than that, and USG, they did decide, let's go to the mid lane, maybe we can push this up, but this is a L'Oreal. She'll be able to clear out the wave real easy here, and it seems like IGP are kind of rotating away from USG, and USG, they don't really have anything to work around the map, so they just say, yeah, let's just go back to the lane. We can't do too much here.
Yeah, they do have the tail on us for the tower push, but not really committing to it. So Soda going to get caught out in the backside, going to freeze himself up, but he's going to fall in the end. Hippie between 4 heroes has to try and back off. L'Oreal pops the ultimate, tries to fight back, but here comes Slashmoon. A lot of damage, and that's going to be Lapa falling down really quick.
Might actually continue here as USG. Now they just back away, but that was a spicy fight. But it seems like they only just trade 1:1. Still works into the favor of USG as Slashmoon is still alive, so he's going to just keep on farming.
They do have to watch out for this Florentino, though. He is reaching his first spike very soon. Once he gets the next item, he will be dealing a lot of damage, physical damage coming from the rank breaker, I believe, is what he's going for. Still plenty of money in the bank for him to set up.
Check this out. There has been more harassment, or there has been more damage done to that bottom tier 1 tower by USG other than IGP, but Soda gets caught up. Can he actually flicker over the wall? They will not allow him stun to come out from Slashmoon, but it was just too quick. This is the speed of IGP. They are able to rotate around the map so quickly, faster than what USG can handle, and this is also the difficulty when you don't have a team that can really counter-engage.
Yeah, and that's one of the downsides of a Crixie pick as well. That hero has almost no mobility, and if he gets caught out in such a bad position, you really have no way out of there. While L'Oreal is really tanky, and of course, having the Zenel always to be able to back him up whenever his ultimate is off cooldown is just so strong. But second Dragon, looks like USG is able to sneak that up. Zephys and the rest of Zephys able to get it for himself. Is keeping things competitive for now between both of these teams.
The rotation there, they actually spot out Lack here. Soda activates his ultimate. The fall will deal a significant amount of damage, but that's not the thing we should watch out for because this top lane has already been knocked out. Chobits is able to just back away here, and they can't really initiate the fight. Not any heavy forms of CC for USG. They only really have the Tel-Anas to start off these initiations, but Slashmoon is into the front line. He wants something to happen here, but he had to actually flicker over the wall.
Chobits.
The miss position for USG is real, and they had to respect that Slashmoon could have been in a really tight spot if it didn't flicker.
Yep. Breath of relief coming from the side of USG, not losing any more heroes. The gap has pretty much been closed out here as we look at it in terms of net worth across the entire team. They are just quite neck and neck so far. And Hayate.
Oh, big knock up there from the Zephys. He actually makes it work. And if they overcommit, there still is the teammate being a bro. This is going to be very difficult for IGP to actually stop. And it seems like the Japanese are doing it. Oh my goodness, they're just kind of chasing down onto Lack. There's the way from the Crixie. And that's all she wrote. 3 for none exchange. Yena KA does get the bottom tier 1, but it seems like Unsold Stuff Gaming, they get even more as they're looking to set up at this mid tier 1. Hold that thought though.
Going forward, trying to get a kill, but oh no, he gets stunned up right by the Crixie, dropping quite low. Chobe is trying to assist his teammate, and that's just going to help him back off. Yena almost falling there, but knowing the limits, going to back off. Everyone's going to port back to base there and get ready for the next fight.
This could have been an opening for IGP to actually start the DS if they really wanted to do so. Here's the highlight of that replay. Look at that dive. They immediately go in onto Dime. He had no chance. I think he blinked
almost
over.
melted instantly.
Yeah, and wanted to use that ultimate, but he got denied hard. This is the thing. When you get CC'd as a Hayate, when you're about to use that Kunai Blitz, it is painfully obvious that you just get blown up easy, especially if you don't have a true protective support. And Zenial, I wouldn't say is a true protective support, because like he just has a knockup, but that's about it. Compared to like at least in this scenario, you know, the teamie who can revive you.
Chobits thinking about it. Oh, they do know where everyone is, but Dejiwoo is gonna back off for now. There was a lot of damage that was done by Lack in the last fight. If he could have just survived for maybe 2 more volleys or spells, maybe he could have turned things around. But L'Oreal, always known as the mid to late game tanky mage as she is, wasn't in the best of position to be. Chobits might be in some trouble here.
They're chasing him really hard right now. Look at this coming from the sides. It's Lack once again, but oh my goodness, they actually almost pin him down. Does Lack have enough range? Yes, he does. Get away from that AoE. It's going to be very scary. KA coming from the backline, though. This is going to be horrible, but it seems like it backfires. Nobody from IGP wanted to touch that hot potato, and it seems like USG, after all that kerfuffle, still survives. How is this happening? USG, what are you doing?
The amount of damage coming from this 5-man coming from USG has just been proving too much. We talked about the Crixie being very squishy, but look at the amount of damage that the Crixie will be able to do. Dejiwoo might pay with his life though, but he will resurrect and will be able to back off there. The tier 2 tower in the mid will fall. Slash Moon is reaching that critical mass on that Telanas.
If they even wanted to, they might have actually been able to take that bottom tier 2 if they decided. Well, it was a risky play, and you know, USG, they don't want to go for that overly aggressive type of play, but this is on a whole different spectrum. Like USG, I don't know if maybe their group stage was their group was the harder group, but it seems like it's making it so.
Yeah,
their performance is incredible right now.
They're not showing the performance you expect from a bottom seed coming from the other group. They're definitely looking like very strong contenders, especially in this map so far against IGP Gaming, as we see the lead almost up to 4,000 right now.
He's not afraid anymore.
Not afraid. He has his critical items. He knows that Florentino is very strong at this point of the game, so he knows his limits, and he knows that he's able to take these short fights. But on a Yena might be some trouble here.
That's the power of the Telanas, man. If you put her in, like, let's only protect the ADC, Telanas is the most difficult hero to actually pin down because there's so many people protecting her, and this has already been the precedent. How can you pierce through this composition? You got the L'Oreal. It was supposed to be for the early game, but how can you try to go with the go on to Telanas when she has a 360 no scope kind of defense with her team?
Yep, Dark Slayer does fall, so the first buff goes towards the way of USG. That's going to help them with the push. Are they going to try and get something out of this?
They're just going to rotate for that dragon. They want to get themselves everything. They're greedy. They want it.
Plenty of time left in the buff, of course. Chobits, they might get a kill here. Soda might be some trouble.
Whoa, gets denied. How can you do it? How do you stop this? This is USG Unsold Stuff Gaming. From down under comes up above, and they get themselves a 3-for-0 exchange with a straight up into the mid. 20 seconds onto the clock. What are they going to try to do? Are they going to actually stop the pathing of the Zenial or just push at this mid tier 3? They're chasing the poor Zenial out of his own home. Get out of here. We're evicting you from your base.
First Drake summon up towards the top lane, but the Hayate as well as the Laurier will revive very soon. Is it going to be enough though, as they are just so far behind right now? 7,000 in terms of net worth behind. Yena trying to fight back, taking a lot of damage, but it will be the mid tower that's going to fall.
Boom. Now this is the problem with IGP. It seems like they have no range to fend off the siege.
Nothing against
Unsold
the Talanas for sure. Hayate, despite his best efforts, will not be able to reach this 4 protect 1 on this Talanas, and she's doing too much damage right now.
Have to back away. Nice knock-up though onto USG. They still have to respect, but this is the last tier 3 tower, and there it is. Everything's exposed. You don't want anything exposed,
No.
especially under Valor.
Definitely, that's going to be all 3 lanes down, and that's going to be another dragon going towards the way of USG. Even more gold going towards their way. And this Talanas is getting absolutely monstrous.
This is going to be difficult. Like, super minions are going to be just kind of crashing in onto the base already. And Unsold stuff, they got a minute to prepare. They're probably going to just wait for the Dark Slayer to appear into the game, get that big buff rolling for them, and then finish this game off. Clear out the wave equilibrium from all sides, wait for it, and then, you know, spell disaster for IGP. Oh no, they don't even need to wait for it anymore. The disaster has already struck. They've taken Dime. They are going to take KA here on the other side. He's going to be able to maybe run away, but it seems like the chase is real. Dash in one more. Does he have enough? They're actually really going for it. They don't want KA to be able to escape, and it seems like Hippie hits his mark. And that's going to be a 3 versus 5 as USG are going to be pushing in.
As the Hayate just way too squishy. Slashman literally just blew him up with a couple of right clicks there. And looks like they want to end this right now. Slashmoon knows that he's ready. He has a red buff. Zephys has a blue buff. They have everything ready in the books. And Lak, this is going to be the final.
Wow.
Way too fast. No way to defend that. And that's going to be the first map going towards the way of the Japanese team. Unsold Stuff Gaming. What a fantastic performance coming from the Japanese team.
That was... I'm going to be just silent a little bit, let that sink in, because that was incredible from Unsold Stuff Gaming. Everything was read perfectly from the moment the game began, from just the drafting phase. It looked so surreal from USG.
Yeah, I mean the rotations throughout the round, especially once the Zephys reached level 4, you've seen how they moved around. 4 or 5 heroes making the plays, getting the kills, getting the early lead, just made so much of a difference for a jungler hero, especially on a Zephys. If your first gang fails, that just spells disaster for you. But you know, his first gang, he got 2 kills, he helped his team get another, and that just literally set the tone for the entire match. And there was no answer coming from IGP. They came into the series looking like the favorites, but after that performance on the first round, they really have to get back to their books. Their coach is going to have a very stern word with all their players, and you know, they really have to go back to the drawing board to find out what went wrong.
I mean, again, this is just game 1, but it feels like it's something else already for USG here. That's the thing, right? Because I think IGP weren't expecting USG to be that aggressive at the very start, and it seemed so horrible. It went horribly wrong for them when they lost 4, 5 people. Even as we were just around the early game, and because of that, it just kind of snowballed out of proportion. Because the thing is, IGP's composition, it seems like they needed a little bit more. A little bit more momentum boost, you know, to an early game snowball, mind you, to kind of, you know, get the ball rolling. But USG, they only needed to wait, but they accelerated their win condition.
Fast.
Exactly.
You know, they pretty much took all of the fights very convincingly. There wasn't any really any close fights. It was mostly like, as you can see, it was like 4-for-1 trade-offs, 4-for-2 trade-offs, and most it was pretty even. But throughout the game, you know, the Zephys just started to snowball. The Talanas was unstoppable. The team, he did his job, protected the Talanas like no tomorrow, never left his side, and that just made the Hayate's game so difficult to play, because the Talanas is going to outrange you throughout the game, and once the Talanas reaches the rank breaker as well as the his critical mass, he just blows you up so quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, if you try to go in as a Hayate, if you have no proper setup, that's the thing again. You get crowd control. There's a Crixie, there is a Talanas that can just, you know, stop you in your place. And Speaking of which, I think as we are waiting for the endgame stats and the key player of the game, I want to talk about what I think was the MVP for USG there. I think it was Soda, you know, because okay, it's Slashmoon here because he was amazing as a
Honestly,
Talanas.
zero deaths, 10.5k damage taken only, and pretty much set in. He was the winning condition, of course, for the sub Unstop Gaming, and he played like it, and he just dealt so much damage in these fights.
Yeah, but I also have to add, like, Soda on their side was just incredible with his crowd control. So on point, really stopping the tempo plays of IGP, and it just goes to show that every time that IGP wanted to go in, it was Soda, block, block,
pushing you up.
Exactly.
The ultimate from the Crixie as well deals so much damage, just dissuades you from committing these fights, because the way that their heroes were with Zephys as well as Crixie, it was just instantly damage coming out. But as we have replay from the first map, this was the first crucial fight in 2 minutes. Look at that Crixie Soda.
Yeah, that was incredible for them. I mean, they did lose Dejuo right there, but look at this. They tried to kind of re-engage, and then they failed so hard. They even... So here's the thing. They tried to follow up onto Slashmoon, and they even triggered the Dragon to auto-attack. So IGP took an extra hit that they weren't supposed to, and they kind of lost. And now, this is just kind of like, you know, the highlights for IGP. Every single fight went into their favor. Like, no fight was ever, you know, a victory for IGP.
And that's pretty much it. You know, the damage coming out from USG, it's all instant damage. You know, you don't have these long damage over time, so you just have instant bursts coming from Soda, coming from Talanas, as well as the Zephys. Well, if you look at the side of IGP, you have this Hayate as well as L'Oreal, who wants to play the long fights, kite it out, you know, make sure you have multiple rounds of skills, but the amount of burst damage is way too much. Look at the damage coming from the Florentino.
Oh.
Absolutely sick.
No, I mean, this is already burst damage because of how strong USG were in terms of items. Like, this is just like, you know, immense power output. look at that. That was some grade A knockup from Soda and Hippie. So really easy to kind of just pick them off. I really thought that IGP, well, it seems like their last L'Oreal pick was there because they knew that they had to traverse around all that crowd control, and because they couldn't, and they couldn't, it just really wasn't enough. You know, the win condition wasn't there anymore for IGP.
Usually when they pick up this Yena as well as Hayate, they like a more mobile mid-mage. They pick Liliana quite a bit. They pick Crixie for themselves as well. But, you know, all those heroes been banned out or picked on the other side. They did have to go with the L'Oreal. Might not have been the best. On hindsight, it might not have been the best mage pick. Something like a Raz, like you pointed out earlier, might have suited the tempo of the game much more. But we have to wait and see on how IGP will be able to adapt throughout the second game, because they just lost one of their best few heroes. No more Yena, no more Hayate. This is global ban pick, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's like a big face palm, you know, because again, this is gonna put you to the limit. But of course, again, these teams are more accustomed to the global bans, so it's gonna be interesting what they kind of bring to the table. We'll still have, you know, some really nice picks with the Roxy, with the Chi. There's still an open book for these players.
Definitely a lot of heroes left in the pool. There's still the Lindis yet to be picked up on both teams.
Very true.
Violet as well, very strong and secure. As we have the second map ready to go. This is going to be IGP on the blue and Unso Stuff Gaming on the red.
So IGP, they can't pick the Hayate anymore. So that means that USG has the only reason to pick the Hayate, and they
just ban it out.
They don't want to touch that hot potato. It's going to be difficult, especially that USG still has the ability to pick up a Lumber, a Baldoom, just really nice initiation picks or starter picks for the Hayate. Even the Krizix is actually still up, but IGP will lock that thing in. They want their Krizix, they want Chobits to be on it. They want to harass USG immediately in their jungle.
Yep, they want a good meta tier S support right away, and they pick it up with the Krizix. Definitely. You see people, you know, prioritizing the jungle hero or even the Slayer hero as the first, but when there are just so little great support heroes left in the pool, you gotta just pick it up on the first pick.
USG, they're not showing their hand at all. They're just like, we have ourselves a Thane. It's good to counter any aggressive in-your-face picks. It's kind of like a more push you in your face.
Literally
teaming.
push you.
Yeah, literally push you in your face. Exactly right.
He's really great peeler as well for the Elsu. Can stand in the front line, open up the map. Really tanky. Has doesn't really have that much crowd control or wave clear on him by himself, but he's just a support. He just needs to do his role. As we do see the Elsu as well picked up there by USG.
I'm not sure which game this was, but me and Isaac, we were casting a game where Thane actually got 2 insane kills on carries with his ultimate. So, I mean, even though he's just there, his big sword can definitely slam you pretty hard if you're not careful.
Yeah, you know. The damage does increase, especially the lower amount of HP you have. So the damage is sometimes underrated or just people just ignore the Thane generally, but if you take a very long fight and suddenly the Thane gets a huge ultimate on 2 or 3 heroes, that may turn the tide of whatever skirmish you were having. So definitely not an easy hero to deal with, especially on how tanky he is on this Thane.
Oh man.
Darcy as well as Omen picked up there for the side of IGP Gaming.
Again, USG, I feel it. They are countering everything IGP has right now because again, IGP have set up a good composition with a lot of crowd control with that Kha'Zix and Omen, but Kilgroth, he's Kilgroth. When he activates an ultimate, he is
he's not dying anytime soon.
Yeah, he's just gonna ignore all that crowd control, stay up into your face, and since you have a Thane, it kind of combos in with a Kilgroth. It's not as good as a Kha'Zix Kilgroth setup, but the Thane is there to supplement this one and of course keep them all away from the Elsu. So this is gonna be a kind of play to whoever can touch the Elsu wins. It's like, pop the piñata.
Yeah, right now there's not much heroes that can actually dive towards the Elsu. Kha'Zix of course is there, but you don't really want to run next to an Elsu as a Kha'Zix. So the jungle hero for the side of IGP, Darcy is going to be jungling, but they need a hero that can just rush in towards the backline and look for this Elsu, because if he's just left uncontested as well as just ignored in the team fights, he's going to be dealing so much damage.
That's true. Or we could go the other route, which is
kill the front lines.
Yeah, true that. Because like Elsu doesn't have a good chunk of mobility. Even though he has good range, he also has to kind of charge his shots first with the snipe, right? So that means that if they can dodge it properly or if they can absorb it properly, and Elsu will start to kind of lose a little bit of his luster. Of course, this isn't like the be-all, end-all, but there could be the setup where we look at actually an Ignis to actually come out here, which could shred the front lines. Or yeah, exactly. When they get that mid to their arsenal, especially with the Darcy, it's going to be a hell of a lot of damage to come out of IGP. Look at how handsome Lindis is. Like,
he is.
He looks like my teacher. Like, brush up your hair back and then, okay, class, time is about to prepare to start.
That actually sounds just like him as well. The voiceover.
Nah.
What sort of ADC or marksman will Dime actually go for? There's still Lindis left in the pool. Oh no, it's just banned out. Second phase by USG. So one of the next favorite heroes is actually the Violet, which is decent against the Elsu, as well as the Kilgroth as well. The amount of burst damage coming from the Violet is available for them if they want to go for that option.
They can maybe even go for a Fennec as of now. Fennec wouldn't be too bad because everybody's going to be all up into your face and you just kind of want to have that AoE damage.
And great mobility as well coming from the Fennec. Crixie.
It is open.
It's going to be the Fennec. Oh, did you call it?
Yeah, they need a little bit of that spinning bola of his to kind of control the team fights, especially when everyone is a little bit more melee-centric, except for the Elsu, but everything else will be. So Fennec is, I think, a good pick for that. And overall, it just kind of works well with, I think, what IGP wants to build up into their composition. And there you go.
Locks down the Fennec. Does have the Crixie still selected here, and it will go. We will see the Luck Crixie, it seems like. Definitely not a stranger to that hero. What will be the response coming from Unsold Stuff Gaming?
Because this could go either way. Unsold Stuff still has either a jungle or a DS lane to pick up, because Kilgroth can go either way, and it seems like
Murat.
he was able to slip through. I mean, he is kind of like, you know, known for his slippiness with that temporal turbulence, so this is a nice pickup, I would say. Fennec is there, Crixie is there, it works well. You will be able to kind of harass them in the back. Elsu for the snipe. It's a nice combo. It's a very aggressive combo.
Murat, though, one of the best counters for very squishy heroes like the Crixie, like the Fennec. You know, there's nothing you can do once he uses his ultimate. So, if this Murat gets to a great start, we might see him just blow up all these heroes.
That's true. The one thing I'm really scared of right now for IGP is that Kilgroth is there, and it's in his name. Kilgroth.
Yeah,
he's gonna be able to just rip through everybody, especially once he gets into that late game.
But in terms of the laning, a Kilgroth against the Omen, which it does seem to be more Omen favored.
It should
slightly,
be.
just based on the sustainability that the Omen has.
True.
But once Kilgroth reaches that level 4, he's going to be a pest to just harass out of the lane.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to kind of, you know, turn things around pretty easily.
As both team coaches get ready to leave the booth.
So what do you think, Zero? IGP or USG in this one?
I'm feeling a little bit more IGP, but that Murat just scares me.
I have to go USG again, because like they have set already a mentality. They've kind of conditioned themselves in this game where they say that we will always want you to try to dive our ADC, and you have to work your way through it. And even then, IGP kind of has to play, or they made their roster what they have, that they actually want to go right into your face, because like they don't try to play that you have to actually chase our ADC. That's not what IGP is saying. What they're saying is we're gonna challenge you at your own game. And once
we're gonna go head on.
Yeah, and if they figure out how to do that, I think USG will crumble. Yeah, in terms of their strategy, because this might be the strongest strategy that USG are bringing to the playoffs.
Yeah, as we can see, second map is about to go on here. Also, Stop Gaming, the representatives from Japan haven't seen too much of a performance coming from that region, but this might be one of their biggest chances yet in the 2019 AIC.
And here we are, guys. Game number 2. IGP Gaming versus Unsold Stuff Gaming. I love how all of these teams just like have the word gaming. Even I have, like, on my social media, I also have gaming on my last, because like I want people to know that I'm in gaming.
They did sub out Soda for Hippie in this round. So we have to see if their 6-man is performing. Hey, Soda is playing. Who did they sub out? That's Kabuki. They subbed out Kabuki for Soda. My bad there.
Oh yeah, actually. So this is. I'm not sure what's gonna happen in this bottom lane right now, because I think Fennec might have, you know, positioned himself a little bit too late going back into the lane.
Just gonna lose some EXP, not too much. Slash Moon. What's he doing?
Okay. Good
Plenty
damage
of
though.
damage.
This is probably one of the weakest things for Fennec to actually try to deal with, is that, well, there's just so much range for Slash Moon. Look at that. He's gonna stop the recall once again. He's looking for a snipe.
You know, something that a lot of below diamond player Elsus don't do is they don't do that whole 360 thing where they try to sneak up on a fully charged second skill with the snipe. Usually they just aim directly, so people will see that red line
and dodge it.
Yeah, dodge it. But these high level plays, they turn a huge round. You know, make sure you only see it at the last second. Maximize the amount of damage you can do with the snipe.
Yeah,
Slash Moon.
I guess it's kind of like the transition of like in FPS games, you know, when they say that look at that flick of that wrist, it's more of like look at that flick of that finger. Now in like AOV, right?
Yep.
Oh, he actually steals the spirit, the river sprite.
Small victories going towards the way of
for IGP.
For IGP, yes. But the first dragon will go towards the way of Unsold Stuff. So that's definitely the bigger win here, at least in this early skirmish. Kilgroth slightly behind in terms of levels, behind his Omen.
Yeah, we did talk about that a while ago.
Yeah.
We also said it, man. This Omen just kind of like just beats the crap out of this Kilgrod at the very start only. Now, the thing that I want to point out is if you check out the map, you can just see how focused IGP are as of the moment in just kind of keeping themselves in. Oh no, they actually have to force Dejuo to flicker over the wall. That's about it. But yeah, just to finish what I was saying there, is that IGP, aside from the Darcy kind of just roaming around, they have been adamant at just sticking to their own lanes and trying to keep that gold or that net worth above USG's.
Yep. 0-0 so far, 3 minutes in. Lak as well as Soda, both of them level 4 already.
KA is going to try to deny this Might Golem, but it's not going to happen. One more hit.
Oh,
he actually got it.
Still got it in the end.
It's fine. He worked out so well for that. So Dime really isn't really in a place where he can obviously duel and win against a Elsu.
Definitely not. She just outranges him.
True, but
and it's very hard to just get a lock on that that Elsu, just because of how he tends to play near the walls, playing with his camouflage. Definitely not the best matchup for the Fennec in the lane. As you can see, Dime only level 4 right now. Slash Moon almost level 6 already.
They're going to go for a dive. This is a 4-man invade already. Look at that snipe onto Dime. They're chasing him down, using the Liliana to activate, but it seems like they got denied. Lak into the front line. One more hit. She missed the AoE skill shot, but still hit with the ultimate. And get on out of here. USG get denied.
That was so close for Dime there. The Tane ultimate almost landed on him, but just slightly out of range. Darcy trying to do his best. He sets up the ultimate. Not going to connect. Oh, man. My, knows that he's strong.
Ooh. That's not going to be good. But KA, though, does he have Flicker? He does have a movement speed, though. One more hit. The Reaper's Blessing. Oh, my goodness. Still not enough. Can he bring him back with the ultimate? Looks like that's going to be a no. Soda to hold his teammate's hand. But the first tower to be destroyed will be by IGP.
The Anso stuff do get the dragon, though. So that's another victory going towards their way, keeping things very competitive against both these teams right now, as the goal lead is barely noticeable across both of these teams.
Well, Yana's roaming around the jungle. She wants some blood. I'm not sure if she has enough burst, though, to make it happen. But if it does, that'll be incredible for USG here. USG are doing a really good job of kind of just rotating around the map and trying to figure out where IGP are. They're not just kind of like being a little bit static. They're not being a little bit too passive. And this is the thing that I didn't really see from them when we were watching them during the group stage. Maybe they were just playing, you know, a little bit dumbfounded just because they didn't want their opponents to see them how they played. Big ultimate from the Thane, but none to follow up from USG because everybody was scattered. Although tower will still survive, they do lose Dejuo for a couple of seconds.
Trying to get the best out on the across the map here. Hippie as well as Mai trying to get the top tower as well. Hippie, one more hit. Oh, has to restart on the River Dragon.
Now Chobit is back onto the Krizik. It's so hard to kind of out-rotate him right now because he's just basically everywhere. After one quote-unquote play happens, he immediately just rotates once again. And that's kind of like the name of the game here for IGP. They don't have to force team fights because they actually won't be able to win it right now. But they will be able to kind of win out this macro game that USG is trying to play them out. And IGP, I think, is one of the teams with the better macro in this entirety of our 8 teams left in the playoffs.
Exactly. I completely agree with what you say here. But time might be running out here as this bottom tier on tower, Dime trying to hold his best, but 4 of USG's hero are just nearby. Slash Moon. Ooh, huge amount of damage done there to the Fennec. Hippie almost reaching his rank breaker. That's going to be a huge spike in his damage done as well.
Might I just say, Slash Moon is overwhelmingly above Dime as of the moment. Now, here's the thing. I do like the Fennec pick from IGP, but it's not a true ADC.
Yep.
Compared to Elsu, Lindis, Violet Hayate, but it does help in terms of, you know, utility. But the thing is, Elsu right now hasn't really been shut down. I actually would have thought that they would have gone and put Omen in the ADC lane to deal with this Elsu and then try to dive him because they do also have Darcy. So you have yourself a really nice explosive combo. and that might have worked for IGP, but maybe they actually wanted, Darcy Darcy to kind of get his stride first, because he's going to be the one with the true damage for, not true damage, but like, the real damage to come out from IGP.
Yeah, his Muramasa already completed. He's just dealing absolutely crazy amount of damage right now. Dime just has no way to fight back. Chobits teleport out. Oh no.
That actually forced Chobits to go in. He flickered over the wall. This could be bad, but that's what I'm talking about. The bola from Dime. A really nice zoning tool just to kind of stop them out, but because there's 3 people down below for USG, it has to be all up on this Kilgroth to keep his tower alive. And here comes the Murad. He was able to stack up. He's chasing them down. Does he have another one for his temporal turbulence? Oh my goodness, he has to chase him. Can he actually get him through the burst damage? He's just gonna try to heal up onto the creep wave. The smarter option. He has a siege minion with him right here, and that will help them pick off this bottom or this top tier 1.
Yeah, this Kilgroth is just way too hard to deal with right now. Without anything to reduce his lifesteal, without the Curse of Death, without any of those items, he is just so difficult, even for 2 heroes to bring down. We did see him fight 1 versus 2 and just win those fights right before the Murad rotated in, but mid lane.
Ooh, that was so good from Chobits. He actually forced them inside, but the damage from Dime, not enough.
Dime, there's so much damage coming from Dime there.
Yeah. Wasn't able to get the last hit though. That was, like you saw it already, that was the perfect time for a punish for IGP, but they're lacking in something right now. I thought it was actually them to control this game already. 9 minutes in, we're reaching mid-game, close to late game already, and this is where I think USG will start to really become stronger, because their tanky heroes are now really tanky. Their snipers are now very snipey. I'm very terrible with my words right now, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Exactly.
This is their PowerPoint.
Yeah, for IGP, they just lost the laning stage way too hard. Turtle, Darcy trying to run his way back. Barely made it out alive.
Perfect. Just kind of back there from Hippie. They're going to be able to just harass them a little bit. There is some really nice harassment here from Hippie, activating that temporal turbulence. Mind flickers in, and look at that. There's nothing that will stop him. If he flickers over the wall, activates the ultimate, he can smack them silly as long as that ultimate is active.
Hippie charges up his ultimate, looking for an opportunity. Just gonna clear the wave, it seems. Oh, they know that there's no ultimate coming from the Murad, but he's gonna be able to just dash away.
They're trying to starve IGP out. The more that they kind of push into the jungle, the more that the waves will be wasted, and IGP won't be able to claim that. They're looking for this mid-tier 1 and maybe to follow up onto the dragon, then the Dark Slayer lane.
Oh, Hippie forces Laklak to use ultimate. Soda might be some trouble here. A lot of damage coming from the Crixie, but he's able to flicker away just in time. Laklak almost gets that kill. That would have been a huge tempo swing coming from the side of IGP.
Slash Moon onto the side. He was looking for a cheeky little snipe there. This bad boy right here. He has to be careful though. You can see his angling, but he has to actually respect that there's like 3 people from IGP slowly going into his side. Look at that damage from up above, from so far away. This is going to be huge. This is what I'm talking about. The snipe into the temporal turbulence. The snipe turbulence.
Way too much damage. Laklak being dived under the tower there by Mai. The lifesteal coming from
my goodness.
The kill got way too much, but he gets nuked down there by the Omen. Punishment for your sins there. Ka still not done yet. Still wants to fight back. Has plenty of lifesteal on his own. Deju might be some trouble as well. Forces out the ultimate. Chobits as well as Dime trying to do their best. But looks like USG has to back off. All of their heroes way too low in HP. And this might be the mid-tier 1 going towards the way of IGP. Murad tries to hold things back.
What a ridiculous mistake from USG. They could have just broken the mid-tier 1 and be done with it, but no. Mai had to go for the disrespect plays. He just dove right in, and I think USG was a little bit confounded with that. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to follow the Kilgroth or just break at the mid-tier 1? It seems like they didn't really know the answer to that question, and they faltered a little bit. Now IGP are back into this ball game.
IGP just reminds them why they're the top seed on Group A, and they will make USG rethink all these aggressive plays the next time they are there. So we have an instant replay on this fight once again, and we see the Murad just destroys the Darcy with one of his temporal turbulences.
That was already the good thing. Look at this. Deju is unafraid to just chase right in if they actually miss position dash about it. Hippie wanted to get that huge ultimate though from Chobits. He actually sucks right everybody in, but it makes no chance. It makes no sense whatsoever. Turtle, he actually went over the wall. Mistakes were made. Darcy, why did you do it? Why did you do it? And that is already supposed to be the mid-tier 1. Look at this diamond caught out. He didn't even expect Hippie to be able to stack up onto the temporal turbulence, and that's going to be it. Chases right in. There's the knock-up, and that's going to be 4 for nothing exchange. Still into the favor of USG. What is happening?
We're talking about, you know, how Murat will be able to one-shot all these squishy heroes, and he is just showing it over and over again how he can do it. Omen might be in trouble as well, as he's going to fall. That might be game here as they go straight for the core. What is going on? Anso Stuff Gaming with yet another upset in the second round. Look at how happy they are.
Give him the high five. Oh, come on. Missed. Okay. Here's the thing. I know their name is Unsold Stuff Gaming. I want to know where they're keeping their unsold stuff, and I want to buy it right now because I want to be as good as them.
Yeah, definitely the jerseys will be selling out a lot quicker after these two series. They definitely made a fan out of me with these two performances on both of these maps. This is just absolutely incredible from the Japanese team. Look at how happy they are.
Yeah. Other than that, IGP are. I don't know what's happening here. Chobits, you don't really see him go that aggressive when IGP aren't really ready for it, or maybe they were ready for it, but USG were also expecting that last fight initiate to happen. They kind of kept them away, forced them to use a lot of their important cooldowns, and Hippie was ready to use that temporal turbulence to make things work. And Turtle, he made a very bad play in terms of like positioning there.
Yeah, definitely died. You know, his 2 deaths there, especially the one in the mid, just lost the game there for the side of IGP. This might be a little mental block here coming from the side of IGP. They're not playing as they're used to. Their draft seems to be a little bit lackluster. It seems like USG has studied them really well and has an answer for everything they have so far. And that has just been absolutely incredible to watch on this main stage.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have fans before, they'll have fans now. Unsold Stuff Gaming, they gotta, again, if they sell merch, will they actually change their name to Sold Stuff Gaming?
Sold Out Gaming?
Sold Out Gaming.
You never know.
Sold Out Stuff Gaming, SSG.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Hey, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later as the MVP is going to be the Murat. We did see a lot of huge kills coming from himself. That kill on the Darcy in the mid, as well as on Dime on towards the mid jungle area as well. Hippie is the MVP for match number 2. A little bit forgot to change the graphics, but we know this is map 2 because USG has just been absolutely rolling over over IGP in these 2 maps.
You know why Hippie is so good? Because his finger is so long. You saw in that picture, like his finger is like from here, right?
Yeah.
But then it reaches all up to his cheek. Because of that, he can reach the entire the entire freaking Android or I don't know device that he's using.
Does it matter? I don't think so. Unless you want to.
I think size matters, man.
Okay. I mean, if you want to reach over from your left arm to use skills, that might help out with your targeting.
Look, I mean, I can't do that, but I think Hippie can. He has such a long finger.
Maybe he's just playing with one hand, you know?
I actually heard that some people actually play with just one hand. It's ridiculous. How do you actually... I don't know how to do that.
I don't think you can do that. Maybe you can actually, but
if you have finger power, I think you can. But I don't know.
Looks pretty hard, but wow, what a fantastic series so far. This was not the results that we were expecting. We were talking about how this would be like a 4-1, 4-0 going towards the way of IGP, but proven wrong, really wrong so far.
We still have obviously 2 more games for USG to close this out, and wait. This is the playoffs, and there's no losers bracket here.
No, this is if you're in or you're out.
Oh.
That's going to be such a huge upset if IGP does not make it towards the semifinals. They're one of the favorites to make it at least to the semifinals, but if they stumble here on this block, that is going to be so disappointing for the Vietnamese fans. We have a replay of the highlights of the first match. At least we get to see some IGP highlights this time. Look at that kill off.
So here's another thing that IGP were a little bit too adamant in trying to do.
Was to kill the Kilgroth?
Kill the Kilgroth, or the other thing that I saw was to destroy a tower. where they put so much resources with 2 of their players, and because they basically allowed the kill graph to free hit, they took too much damage. They didn't even break the tower, and they had to retreat where Killgraph was on the chase, and then a teammate was already there to help him chase down. So I don't know what was that all about, but because of it,
this was the other kill on first line. Huge kill coming from Hitly there.
Scary, scary thing for IGP to kind of think of is, what can we do? And there it is. And there it is, the Nexus.
Real quick. 13 minutes in. Really quick kills there. And, you know, this is a best of 7, of course. We still have not seen the depth of what Unso Stuff Gaming can do. They've ran out of 10 heroes. There's only around 40 more heroes left for them to pick up there. And not all of them are meta heroes to pick up. So, looks like...
yeah, we're going to take a quick break here, guys. And when we get back, it's more action. Who will tip the scales? Is it going to be USG to kind of go a bit more further down below, or is it going to be IGP to bring it back up? We'll see later on as the AIC continues, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
ต้อนรับเข้าสู่ ROV Valor Pass ซีซั่น 11 พบกับแครี่ที่พริ้วที่สุดเอรันดอร์และรางวัลที่พิเศษกว่าเดิม พบกับหน้าภารกิจที่คุณคุ้นเคยจากคัมภีร์ทั้ง2เล่มคือคัมภีร์แบบฟรีและคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์แบบใช้คูปองผู้เล่นสามารถปลดล็อกคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการใช้299คูปองและแพ็กที่พิเศษเลเวลรับฮีโร่ใหม่เอรันดอร์ทันทีในราคา549คูปองโดยจะมีเวลาทำภารกิจ4อาทิตย์ทำให้รับรางวัลได้เร็วกว่าเดิมพร้อมค่าผลงานที่เพิ่มมากขึ้นต่อภารกิจผู้เล่นสามารถเพิ่มเลเวลของคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการเพิ่มค่าผลงานซึ่งจะได้รับเมื่อทำภารกิจโดยมีทั้งภารกิจรายวันและรายสัปดาห์หรือผู้เล่นสามารถเพิ่มเลเวลของคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการใช้คูปองจำนวน50คูปองต่อเลเวลเมื่อคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์เลเวลอัพถึงระดับที่กำหนดผู้เล่นจะได้รับของรางวัลสุดพิเศษอย่างเลือกรับสกิน1ตัวจากทั้งหมดที่กำหนดเลือกรับฮีโร่1ตัวจากทั้งหมดที่กำหนดรูปโปรไฟล์ลิมิเต็ดสุดน่ารักท่าเต้นเอฟเฟกต์พิเศษต่างๆภายในเกมฮีโร่ใหม่เอรันดอร์และสกินสุดเอ็กซ์คลูซีฟฟอร์จูนเทเลอร์เซวิล่าพิเศษถึงวันที่1ธันวาคมนี้เท่านั้นนอกจากนี้ผู้เล่นที่มีเลเวลถึง60จะได้รับสิทธิพิเศษหมุนกงล้อแห่งโชคชะตาเพื่อรับของรางวัลพิเศษรูปโปรไฟล์สกินลิมิเต็ดและไอเทมมากมายพิเศษเมื่อคุณเลเวล60ภายใน7วันแรกคุณจะได้รับกรอบโปรไฟล์และเอฟเฟกต์สังหารคูปองแล้วพบกันใน Valor Pass ซีซั่น 11 เริ่ม 4 พฤศจิกายนนี้
ท่านหมอทัศน์เคยได้รับพรจากฮอลลี่ไลท์เพราะฉะนั้นท่านถือว่าเก่งกาจที่สุดไม่จริง ท่านเทนต่างหากที่เก่งที่สุด
นี่อย่าทะเลาะกันสิ พวกเจ้า2 คนน่ะเป็นเพื่อนสนิทกันไม่ใช่หรือไงฮะ
ใครจะอยากเป็นเพื่อนกับเจ้านี่กันข้าก็ไม่ได้อยากเป็นเพื่อนเจ้าเหมือนกันแน่
ตอนนั้นพวกเราก็ทะเลาะกันเพราะเรื่องแบบนี้สินะ ท่านราชินีนะ สามารถยิงธนูสยบราชาปีศาจได้เลยนะ
แต่ว่ามาลอสเก่งกว่าราชาปีศาจอีกนะ
นี่พวกเจ้าเนี่ย
ราชินีก็เก่งกว่าอยู่แล้ว
เลิกทะเลาะกันได้แล้ว
เจ้าไม่เชื่อข้าหรือไงอ่ะ
นี่ข้าน่ะไปเจอที่หนึ่งมา เราลองไปเดินสำรวจกันมะ
เอ๋
ถ้าเป็นเพื่อนกันจริงแล้วก็เจ้าต้องไปกับข้านะ มาเถอะหน้าเร็วสิ
กราบเธอะฉันว่าเราไม่ควรมาที่นี่นะ
จะตาขาวไปหน่อยเลยนะ เฮ้ยนี่เมาเซีย รีบมาดูนี่เร็วเข้า ไฟดวงเนี้ยสวยมากเลยนะ
เฮ้ยดีลันดอร์อย่าแตะไฟนั่นหลบไป
เมาเซีย ไม่นะ นี่ข้าทำอะไรลงไป
อีลันดอร์เจ้าจงไปสำนึกผิดต่อต้นไม้โลกเสียเถิด บาปของเจ้ายากที่จะอภัยได้ แต่ถึงแม้จะขังเจ้าไว้สัก100 ปี ก็คงไม่อาจชดเชยสิ่งใดได้ เพราะฉะนั้นเจ้าจงออกเดินทาง ตามหาวิธีฟื้นคืนไฟแห่งดวงวิญญาณเสียเถิด
เลิกโทษตัวเองได้แล้วอีลันดอร์พี่อีลันดอร์พี่ครับเฮ้ยทำไมเงียบไปอ่ะพี่เป็นอะไรหรือเปล่าฮะ
นี่พวกเจ้ารู้อะไรไหม การมีเพื่อนที่คอยปกป้องซึ่งกันและกัน ก็ทำให้พวกเจ้าเป็นฮีโร่ที่เก่งกาจได้นะ
ยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ฮีโร่สปอตไลท์วันนี้เรามาพบกับเอรันดอร์ฮีโร่ประเภทแฮร์รี่ชีวิตนั้นงดงามเสมอดุจดังบุปผายามแรกอรุณสกิลติดตัวโซซิล1การโจมตีปกติจะสร้าง
turn to ban. Red team's turn to ban. Blue team's turn to pick. Red team's turn to pick.
Has been one of IGP's favorite picks as well. We haven't seen him picked up, definitely not in this round because not in this map because they have already picked up the Baodum. So they do still have that left in the hero pool for IGP to pick up.
Cricknick hasn't really shown himself this entire series, and finally he does show his stride. If you want to be able to knock somebody off their feet, off their toes, it's the Cricknack. And I was also looking for this. Elsu is available. His Elsu available. No, not. This is available.
We do know Turtle is a very strong Cricknack player. He makes one of that hero just look absolutely insane throughout the group stages. Definitely worthy of a couple of bans throughout the group stages. But right now, with the global ban pick format, you can't ban all the heroes. So Cricknack will eventually show up in this quarterfinals, and they will lock it down. Both the Diao-chan as well as the Cricknack for the side of IGP.
IGP here, I don't know, it feels like they're trying to go a little bit too combo-centric.
Yeah.
Well, it does work by its own, but the ability to combo of IGP has kind of skyrocketed after picking this Jiao-chan to their arsenal. But because of that, USG had the opportunity to ban out the Elsu. And I don't know what else IGP can actually bring to the table in terms of an ADC that worked for them. Although, till honest, was the pick of USG. That means that IGP still has the availability on that particular hero.
They do also still have the Lindis or the Violet. They do ban out the Violet here, so not much marksman left. Like you said, Talanas definitely looks like one of the most probable picks. You have the Baodum as well as the Cricknack for the front line. Diao-chan can always play both the aggressive mage role or even as the defensive marksman support. So we might see that being picked up there. We did see IGP play a couple of Valheim games, but definitely not one of the meta heroes, right? He's one of the stronger meta heroes right now, but is that just too squishy for the side of IGP?
Maybe. I mean, there's not really a big chunk of pick-off by USG here onto the Valheim. It's like a lot of protect for IGP, so maybe we'll see that come into fruition. Although, whatever comes out for USG in terms of their mid will decide if IGP will go for either a Tel-Anas or maybe that Valheim. But I'm really leaning towards the Tel-Anas pick because it seems like they're taking a page out of the book of USG. They did it for game number 1, and now IGP have kind of made their own iteration of it, and it seems like that's what they're going to be bringing into this third game. It could work well for them, but I think USG are kind of thinking around the same mentality, and now they're looking for somebody with a lot of burst that could tilt the favor into their tilt the scales into their favor.
It's gonna be the
and that's Tulin, yeah.
Slightly lacking in terms of damage earlier on for the side of Unsoul Stuff Gaming so far. They really need the Hayate to reach his critical mass. The Rourke does plenty of damage by himself, so not as much as the side of IGP though. They have plenty of peel, plenty of crowd control so far with the Diao Chan as well as the Baodum. So we have to wait and see.
Rook should be able to kind of go up into the face of the Crickneck. They're hovering over the Lindis.
Is Lindis the pick here? I feel like Telanas might have been a better option against both the Talon as well as the Hayate. But we'll wait and see. Maybe just Dime just feeling the Lindis right now.
They want a little bit more ability to scout around the map, and I feel like Lindis will be able to provide that for IGP here. They also actually bring out the Superman, which would go for the DS lane.
Yeah, the roaming potential coming out from IGP is just so strong right now. But with both the Lindis as well as the Superman, they are going to move across the map just so fast.
Now what does USG bring to this table? Omen has already been knocked out. Yena's not there. Richter is the one to remain. Against a Superman?
Not the best laning, once again.
Yeah. Not too bad, though.
Yeah, not the worst. I think like 55% going towards the way of the Superman in terms of the laning favors. But definitely Richter, once past the laning stage, he's going to be such a menace, especially towards the Diao Chan as well as the Lindis. He can close out the distance quite well. He can jump towards the back line and just blow them up right away if he ever comes to that point in game. But looks like both coaches will be ready to leave. Just some final words with the teams.
Now even these teams are going to have quite a bit of fight in their hands. What's going to happen in this third game? Coaches sweating a little bit. You know, the intensity is already there. And
It's
USG...
like, they picked the Richter.
Yeah.
Oh no. Start
So it's a
sweating.
little bit... I'm actually more afraid of the Rourke, but like, I'm making a cold sweat here. And mind you guys, these players, these teams are fighting in a LAN event, which is a LAN setting.
Yep, at
venue.
the Arena
There you go.
Esports Studio in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah. I also love to go to Bangkok. You know, it's not a bad place to go.
Great food. The grand finals, the finals will be in True Icon Siam as well.
Is that how you pronounce it? Siam or Siam?
I think it's Siam.
I have been pronouncing it Siam for like the longest time. I'm gonna get in trouble here.
I'm not sure. I think the English pronunciation is Siam, but Siam might be the local one. So
I mean, we're
you'll be right, correct
Yeah.
either way. I think.
okay. Thank you.
You'll be safe.
As I was about to defend myself. Like, we're Southeast Asians,
Yeah.
so they don't have to always go English. Siam is the Southeast Asian way to go.
Here we go. Map 3 between IGP as well as Unsold Stuff Gaming. Will IGP be able to get a point on the board, or will Unsold Stuff Gaming be one map away to move on towards the semifinals? We'll just have to wait and see as map 3 is about to go underway.
Get ready.
That's the perfect banner. That's a perfect intro to awaken your ambition, and it seems like Unstalled Gaming have definitely woken the beast inside of him.
Yeah, they are definitely awake. IGP might still be a little bit slumbering as Ka did quite a bit of damage towards my great start towards the lane, I'd say.
Yeah, you know, I actually watched Godzilla the other day, and it seems like this is the perfect metaphor for it. This is Godzilla versus Godira right now.
What's Godira?
He's the triple-headed beast.
Okay,
in the movie
the
with the big wings.
Okay, the
So that's
dragon
like-
looking, the Hydra thing.
Yeah, exactly, the Hydra. So that's like IGP as of the moment. They're the sort of invaders of USG's path to apex predatory here in this particular quarterfinals. Again, very bad analogy, but I just wanted to point it out because like it feels like that way, you know, that USG are holding on to a dream and are not letting go just yet.
Yeah, this
or
is
they'll
a-
never let go, you know.
Yeah, this is a much better lane for the for Dime to go up against the Hayate. They do have the Lindis, who is a much stronger laner if compared to the Hayate. Very mobile, very flexible, can deal a lot of harass at a long range as well. Hayate doesn't really offer that much in the lane. So definitely we'll see Dime have a much better lane than his Fennec against the Elsu.
As long as Slash Moon just keeps on farming, it really wouldn't matter because because like Hayate would really want to play for that late game. The thing is here, he has to also be careful because Hayate is such an easy hero to dive into. especially without any support from your friends or
Yep.
your teammates. And it seems like because Turtle was already there, they have to rotate for him. It's such a scary thing to kind of, think of. There's 3 members of Unsold Stuff just right here at the river, kind of like, dilly-dallying a little bit.
Yeah, waiting for the dragon to spawn.
Oh, big initiation though. Dejuo gets caught right into the middle here. Has to get pushed back as Hippie joins into the fight rather. Slash Moon does come in from the side. Doesn't have level 4, so no Kunai Blitz to unleash into the fray, into the fight. But it seems like, again, IGP are slowly but surely winning out the gold battle, sticking into the lanes a lot more because the pressure from Turtle is real.
Turtle has just been making such a menace with his presence in his bottom lane, just forcing rotations coming in. Slash Moon already down to half health, the Dragon down to 7,000 as well. They have to watch out. They do have the steal option coming from. They have the option.
What was that?
Of solo killing on towards Lak Lak, but he might pay with his life here. Tulan being pushed back constantly over and over again, and he's gonna die as well.
Now here it is.
Deju gets knocked back, pushed back. Ka pushes him to the tower as well. Deju in a lot of trouble.
No.
That's gonna be a dead Zenil.
With that 1,000 gold lead out of the wazoo, man. IGP already starting off this game very intensely. The ability of that Superman to displace opponents is incredible. He's not as strong as the Superman from like a year ago where he had insane amount of stats because, he's the Man of Steel, but his ability to just push you in to situations where you don't think where you're not going to be able to perform properly is incredible. And KA is making that happen. Now they're going to flicker over to Chobits here. I'm not sure if this is the best possible situation because he has an ultimate. This sets up for the Superman to get in a triple man knock-off pushback. Diaochan activates the ultimate, but he's taking quite a bit of damage from the Tulin, and he will get knocked out himself. But Turtle comes into the fray, has to back away by Mai, and Turtle might be actually in a bad spot. And it seems like to be the case, though. He does get the ability to just get on out of there. Slash Moon so close into taking down a Superman, but not enough. If they can get this tower, at least that would be such a great pick here for USC to turn back that big objective or that big advantage that IGP picked up, and they do.
That could have gone so much worse for the side of IGP, but they only stemmed the bleeding, only lost the Baldum there, so as was a mid tower of course, but that could have went way worse. Just looking at the amount of HP that a lot of those heroes just ran away with. USG though, they are fighting against so much displacement and crowd control coming from the Baldum as well as the Superman that they have to watch out when they engage against all of these tanky heroes, because one wrong move and you suddenly get bursted down there by the Superman as well as the Krignak, just with the mass amount of AoE damage there.
100% agree. Although, I would agree to that only until the early game to mid game.
Yeah.
Because the more this game progresses, the less damage IGP will actually do.
Yeah, the Diaochan does fall off eventually.
Yeah, because you don't normally pick the Diaochan to be a damage mage.
Yeah.
You're just more of like a control mage. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like your typical RPG. You want yourself a mage that can provide some CC.
That's the elemental mage for you.
Exactly, right? But going back to what I was to my point was that USG, the more this progresses, the more that Tulin, the more that Hayate, the more that Rourke will become such a terrible pain in the behind to deal with. But for now, it is the AoE, the CC for IGP that reigns supreme, and they do get Hippie here. The chase down is real onto Mai. It's going to be a 2-for-1, only taking down KA. And Unsold Stuff, they're kind of, going in a little bit too aggro here. And look at Chobits just charging in asunder onto Soda. And that's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange with even this mid-tier 1 to follow boot.
Yeah, these early game skirmishes, especially if it's a 5-on-5, will definitely almost always favor the side of IGP just by the mass amount of crowd control they have with all these heroes. But like you said, once they begin to fall off here, this Hayate, how are they going to deal with him? As we can take a recap on the last fight, look at the amount of crowd control and damage coming from all of these 5 heroes. They did lose Ka, but that was with 4 heroes down as well.
I mean, that was
Slash
the
Moon.
Oh no, this could be bad. There's no chance for Slash Moon to get out of this. Well,
as you say that, he gets out of it.
ultimate though, but no, two of them got caught off. There's actually a shield for Deadjewel, but he has to try to run away. Heal will come out. Hippie is a Rorik, so he can activate that ultimate to remove all crowd controls onto him. But here's the thing. I have no idea why USG are trying to force fights in areas where the crowd control of IGP will have 100% fatality on them.
Yeah, these choke points are just so crucial, and as they try to get another fight, oh, this is a huge bout of ultimate catching on two. Deju has to back off here, but here comes a huge ultimate from Lak, getting 2 kills already. And they have to back off here. 3 versus 5 so far. Turtle still ready to fight. He wants a little bit more. Oh, we'll back off.
Yeah, they're not allowing Unsold Stuff to kind of clear the win conditions of their roster, of their team composition. And this is working well for them. Now we're 8 minutes into the game, and there's already like a 4,000, 5,000 gold lead for IGP. This is going to look very scary. This Lak who we're talking about, that's Diaoshan, that doesn't deal any damage. She's doing the same thing that Soda did on a Crixie, which is to just hit them with the CC. And it seems to work so well that they're getting caught off and picked off one after the other by IGP.
Yep, the combination between the Diaochan as well as the Badam is just so lethal.
KA is such a smart man. He was able to get away from all of that nasty crowd control or initiate upon. And look at that, Cricknack, so easy to just get a punish here. And Dejuel, now USG are the ones overcommitting to the team fights.
This looks like the top seed of Group A that we were expecting in the first 2 rounds. But oh, Turtle going for more, gets a kill onto Soda as well. The Tulin does fall, and that is almost 5,000 gold going towards the way of IGP.
If you don't watch your back, there's going to be the Cricknack.
Wow, Lak just using his ultimate to clear the waves.
They're going to be able to get this easy. There's no one to punish. Even though Dime is like so close to dying, there's no one to actually get him because they got everything covered. Now IGP Turtle could be in a bad spot, but as KA joins it onto the fray, he's going to be fine. Forced to ultimate here though. Dejuel, I'm not sure that he needed to actually commit that ultimate, but now Mai overextends a little bit. He could get pushed back by the Superman. Actually was able to dash over the Man of Steel, but you can already see how strong IGP are in this fight. Now the thing is, USG, they had to delay to get their spikes up.
Yeah, Lindis is not here though. They have to watch out if they take a 4-on-5 fight here. Lindis is quite far away. She can of course rotate really quickly, but looks like IGP is going to back up for now. The Lindis is just so huge. Clave Sanctity already completed, and he's up to his next big item as well.
25 seconds before the next dragon comes into the fight. There's not really a way that USG can get to themselves around the map that will keep them safe. Dejuel had to check around the brush to keep a lot of info for his team, but
and he gets destroyed there by Turtle.
If he goes to a brush with a turtle inside, he's gonna get snapped in half.
Cricknack just so strong against all these tanks towards in the early stages of the game, and not even just tanks. Lashman has to be forced to back off here.
Usually pushes forward though. Not sure if that was the safest decision because he could have actually have netted himself a death, and that would have been much terrible for USG. This is going to be an easy Dark Slayer. We're already reaching or actually have gone into the late game already here, and this could be pretty good. Slashman is actually caught up here. He will try to dash over the wall. Here comes Dejuel for the re-engage, and Maya's chasing him down.
Oh,
although I don't really like this positioning because they're trying too hard to keep at this Superman, and that's not really the target that they need to go for. Still though, they actually deny him. Big ultimate for the Baldoon. Disabling Hippie into the front line would actually net them such an incredible amount of firepower here. But look at this. The Rorik is actually the one to keep themselves alive. Turtle has gone a bit too aggressive there, but Soda to negate him. This is shutdown kills that are definitely much needed for USG to keep themselves afloat.
Very close fight there. Only one hero from both sides escaping there, but they do lose the top tier 2 tower on towards the red side. Chobits will be the one to soak up the experience over there. Ska has respawned as well. Looks like Turtle almost completing his Omni Arms, so that's going to be another huge spike. Oh, Soda trying to fight back. Tulin quite hard to deal with. He's quite mobile. He's trying to fight back here. Chobits might fall, but here comes the ZL Hugh. Does not connect on the Soda. Soda might pay with his life here.
He's a shield. Oh my gosh, he tried to go over it. KA is such a tanky DSer to try to knock out Oh, the humanity, the 1v2, it looked so well executed, but it didn't pan out.
This was a recap of the last fight here. As just slightly overextending on towards Dime as well as Slash Moon on both sides. Both ADCs just fell way too quickly. And once again, the Turtle with the double kill on his own.
Man, Turtle is just... He's so strong right now. Being able to 1v2 is going to be a bad indicator for USG here because, I mean, the longer this game progresses, the more Turtle can just be able to do that more and more. And he's fearless right now. He's just going to go in.
Off.
He even found Slash Moon. That is so bad for USG here.
Oh, Mai gets a kill though. That's a huge kill on towards Turtle. So that's plenty of gold gone towards the way of USG. But is it enough though? We do have Lak and Dime still left alive here. This mid inner tower might be in some trouble here.
At least the redeeming factor for USG is that they have a composition that can play a little bit, you know, from behind. They can turtle around while IGP will try to break out this tier 3s, but I think that still should be fine. Although Dime is really on another level here. KA is able to actually dive underneath the tower, and that's it. We're going to go to game 4.
This was just an absolute bloodbath coming from Zala IGP. They said, you know, you had your fun on the first 2 games. This is our turn right now. Soda will fall as well as Dime just doing too much damage with this Lindis. This is why people first ban Lindis, guys. If you let him have a good start, he just absolutely just destroys with her mobility as well as damage. Way too much.
Slash Moon, he's going to be trying to, you know, the last ninja here. He's going to activate his Kunai Blitz right in the middle of everything, but they can absorb so much damage. And like I said, it's going to be the first win for IGP Gaming. They're not out of it just yet.
This was the performance we expected in the first 2 rounds. We didn't see it. A little bit of a slow starter, maybe, for the side of IGP. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But right now, they look to be warmed up and ready as they take map 3 very convincingly. 27-9 was the score, and I think, without a doubt, either Turtle or Dime should be the MVPs here.
Yeah, probably would be Turtle, because he was
everywhere, doing everything.
Yeah, that Cricknack was a nightmare to deal with. And with that, USG, I mean, they don't have to really go back to the drawing board, but they have to be a little bit wary of how strong Turtle can be. But again, this is global bans. That means that the Cricknack won't be an issue into the next game.
No more Lindis, no more Cricknack.
So that means that USG, they have a little bit of a sigh of relief. So to speak, when they're going to be going up to the next game to think about what's going to happen.
There is still a couple of favorite picks left for IGP to pick up. They still have their Lumber there. Oh, Chobits was the MVP, according to the game. 5-0-19 on the Bowder. Wow, that's definitely an impressive scoreline for a support.
That's true, because like he's using his prisons, and he is like netting in 2-3 people all at the same time, and even really good Balder players have such a difficult time doing that because the opposing team is always
split up, more split.
Yeah, split up. They're wary about their ultimate, but it seems like IGP's Trobits, he's able to find the method to the madness, and he's getting all the necessary tools he needs to make it happen. But there you go. We were saying it already, man. It's Turtle.
Yeah, definitely the tempo maker of the entire team on map 3. Definitely made a lot of huge plays, and the rotations from a Cricknack is just so scary to look out for. Especially even if you're a tank, the percentage-based damage coming from Cricknack is so difficult to deal with.
I wonder if Turtle's full name is Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtle.
and then Turtle's his last name. No, but yeah, going back to the brass tacks at hand, an incredible performance here for the entirety of IGP. They're not out of this at all. Again, this is a blown out, this is a drawn out best of 7, and because we are in global ban, this is really gonna force these teams to think outside of the box to be able to get themselves that advantage. But of course, right now there is lesser heroes for IGP to work with. They have already used the Cricknack, which is very, very difficult. But they still do have their Murad for Turtle, but USG should know this and will definitely ban it out in the following games.
Yep, there's still the Liliana that they haven't been able to pick up there for the side of IGP. There's still the Lumber. As you can see, Elsu hasn't been picked up by them as well. So definitely, you know, there's plenty of heroes in the AoV world. And I'm pretty sure with their hero depth and player skills, they will manage to find some way to mash together a cohesive lineup. It depends right now whether Unso Stop Gaming has more gas in the tank for them to present it. Because, like you said, there's at least 3 more maps going on. So with the amount of heroes left, they really have to think about how they draft in upcoming games, because we did see Unso Stuff absolutely outdraft IGP in the second map. Will they be able to do it in the upcoming maps will be so crucial for their run towards the semifinals. Long words.
A whole just deep breath here, because we are plunging in to an entire game. But I definitely agree with you. Right up until now, USG has done a phenomenal job in being able to just draft around IGP's composition. But IGP, knowing this, they just kind of let USG do whatever they want in the drafting phase, and they just try to draft their own game. They set up their own win conditions and focus on that. At least that seems to be the case for me. And if that is what's happening here, it seems like they're going to be pushing forward with that going into game number 4.
Yes.
And if they can, then we'll be seeing like a turnover here in the favor of IGP. But again, you already said it. It's going to be less and less heroes to work with, and already the big bads in the jungle are almost already expended.
Exactly.
But we'll see as we're going to go into the 4th game draft. There it is, the Murad ban I was talking about. None for you, Turtle.
Florentino taken out as well. That's Florentino, right?
Yes. It's fine.
Looks a bit like Darcy.
He looks like Darcy. He looks like Killen. There's certain skins that make them look those specific heroes. It's fine. I have actually done the same thing. Mistaken. It's like Florentino's the oldest.
They have almost the same hairstyle as well.
Yeah, Darcy is like the youngest, and then Killen is the kind of like in the mid-30s, you know? Caught in the middle. Now,
Crucix and Zip banned out from the side of IGP. So once again, not letting USG have those fantastic supports.
It's true. But there is, of course, still the Toro, the
Lumber.
Omega, Lumber, of course, Chognar, as well as the Alice. There's a lot of options for USG to work with. But again, since this is global ban, there's less and less strategies that you're going to be able to use as of the moment. USG, they go in for a really strong first pick, which is really also I think a top tier in global ban, which is the Varese. Very strong, good AoE damage, good initiations, and when you're going to be going up against an unknown set of picks for your against your opposing team, she does kind of like have a really good mindset going into the game, because again, she does basically everything.
Yeah, really great sustain, great crowd control as well. Definitely Varese, showing that why she is one of the top reasons, one of the top Dragon Slayer, the Dark Slayer heroes as well. Really great sustain. The only downside is that she's not that mobile. Earlier on, you don't want to be moving around too much on towards the Varese. A lot of mistakes that some people do, but really quick locks on 2 cores for the side of IGP. Ignis as well as Elsu picked up really quickly here.
I was waiting for the Gandalf pick. Like, ever since we started game 1. Where is the Gandalf? Sorry, Ignis. It seems like he's going to be seeing a little bit more love as of the moment. USG, they actually still have the Ormar or the Baldoom in their arsenal, and they pick up the Ormar. This could be really disgusting, because if they get themselves somebody else to help stick this Ormar to IGP, that is a lot of AoE damage. Granted, though, there's a lot of mobility with the Ignis, but Elsu doesn't have that much mobility as well, so he could get caught up. And there's the Lindis for USG.
Yeah, the counter pick for the Elsu. There's no place safe for the sniper to really hide out there, just because Lindis can provide that constant vision in team fights. So great response here coming from the side of USG, but will they be able to get to him is another question right now. Omar, a great hero to close out distances, to bring down this Elsu. Zephys being mauled over here from the side of IGP. Or Kilgroth.
Now, here's the difficulty of USG's picks, right? They got the 2 wins, but they had to expend a lot of top tier
Yes.
picks in order to
Yes.
get those victories, and now they kind of have to deal with let's say slightly lower tier picks going up against IGP, who still has really amazing heroes in their arsenal to work with. Now IGP, they are getting countered, or they are going to be countering with a lot more in terms of the bans. You're seeing a lot more emphasis on being able to understand what really hurts them or their composition, and one of those being Yao Chan already off the board. Even if Kilgroth can diverse or can traverse through the Jiao Chan AoE, the CC, the thing is, his other teammates can't. So they still have to think about that. Will work out well for them. And it seems like USG just kind of being afraid of what Chobits can bring to the table, immediately take away at the slum bar, because that's a lot of like setup for USG here. Or for IGP rather.
Yeah, not much top tier supports left for the side of IGP to pick up there. Since they banned now both the Kha'Zix and Zip themselves, they do still have the Tain, which is an option for them if they want to pick that up. They still have Arum as well, something that they have played around with. So, not much heroes left, that is for sure.
They need something for crowd control, that's the thing. Nothing is popping into my head right now what USG can bring to this fight. I do like the idea of the Arum, but she might not provide as much damage as they need. There is still maybe the Natalia with her burst, which should be good. Vera's also something. Kali is still here. Kali does provide a lot of fight potential, especially with her barrage.
Could be a Saphira as well. If
Laurel's actually still up.
Laurel as well.
L'Oreal rather, sorry, yeah.
L'Oreal's an option for USG to go towards the mid, but that doesn't really round up the lineup coming from USG so well, you know.
That's true.
You have a lot of burst damage, you know, from the Veres, from the Lindis, and then suddenly you have a L'Oreal, which is strong in longer duration fights. And that does still not answer the question of their lack of lockdown. Veres does a decent amount of lockdown. Omar as well. Single target lockdown is great. His spin does decent amount of lockdown as well, but they will have a tough time to deal with this Kilgraph if they do not, you know, get him constantly just knocked up or stunned up. Alistair, there's one of the heroes which has fantastic lockdown. Will they stick to it?
He has his own prison. Probably will actually stick to it because again, it kind of works the same with a Diao Chan. Like you have yourself
Similar,
very similar kind of concepts in terms of how they work as mid laners. Now this means that this Lindis will definitely go to the ADC lane, while Kriknak will be the jungle and Verez is the DS. Because Verez can actually, we've seen her been used
in the
group stage, jungle or even the mid.
Yeah.
So she's a very versatile pick. Works out pretty dang well. But I really do like this last two picks for USG. They really kind of thought this way through, and now they're giving the payback to IGP. You used the Kriknak against us, we're gonna use it against you.
Yep.
It's a revenge.
Teju will be playing the support Omar. Slash Moon, of course, on the Lindis. Soda going towards the mid against on the Alistair. Hippie on the Kriknak. Mai playing the DS lane Varus. Well, on the IGP side, Victor on the Dragon lane, played by KA.
Last pick for IGP will actually be the Omega. So it's kind of like a Thane in a sense. So it's a lot of disruption, good damage output as well.
Great tower damage as well.
That's true. It's going to help out IGP even out their composition. And as we're going into game number 4, I don't know who I actually like as a team composition. These teams are drafting it so well. Although I'd have to give it a little bit to IGP. I don't think this composition for USG, it's a little bit too passive for my liking. Yes, they do have the Kriknak, but that's about the most explosive thing that they can bring to this fight as of this moment. But I could be wrong, but IGP's composition is looking pretty dang scary, especially with that Aegis and Elsu combo. And even, of course, the Kilgroth is right in front of our screens.
Exactly.
Hovering over with that big trident?
Spear?
spear trident scythe combo?
thingy?
Because if you're a sea man or a creature of the sea, right? Like
Scythe wouldn't make sense.
yeah, or a trident because
Trident would make more
Poseidon
sense.
stuff like that. Atlantean.
Looks like we'll be jumping towards map 4 to see if IGP will be able to even it out, or will USG be one map away from map point here. We'll just wait and find out and see.
5 seconds.
Here we go.
Awaken your ambition. USG, they're so close to closing out this quarterfinals and going into the next phase of AIC 2019. IGP, they're still clawing their way back, but they're looking stronger and stronger as this set progresses. That is a very scary thought and something that these teams really have to watch out for. Look at how aggressive they are already. But of course, that is Dejuel, support for support. This will be the Ormor trying to push them back. But this is the power of an Elsu. Because he can clear the wave so quickly with the help of the Ignis, they have more time to roam around the map and bully out. Especially if the Crickneck was at that bottom side of the jungle, it could have been very devastating for the pathing of Hippie. But since he did start on the top side, knowing that the Elsu was going to be there, it is a smarter decision for him. So he'll get level 4 uncontested and unhindered. So he'll be having a nice ganking phase later on.
Yep, I definitely agree with your statements there. A lot of the USG's tempo have to be relying on this Crickneck as well as Alistair, played by Soda there. So if they want to get off to a great start, Soda as well as Hippie, they do have to get really big rotations across the map.
How is Soda still level 2 with all of that? Look at the chase down here. Turtle is actually the one to go for the jungle?
Oh, Slash Moon might be some trouble.
That's a level 4. They don't have anything to burst him with down yet. Although if they can keep him inside, so he's way too fast. That could have been really big here for USG. But he was able to get away from such a really disadvantageous position. And again, that's the power of the Kilgroth for you.
Yeah, but jungling Kilgroth not any less top lane. Varus might be able to get a solo kill on towards Richter. Ka trying to back off here. Oh, but Mai misses his kill. He's going to be able to run away. But the first dragon...
Who's going to get the final hit? Oh, it's going to be Turtle. He's going to be able to get over the wall. Dejuel is in a really tight situation. Has to go away from that. And KA, on the other hand, winning with the Richter. Say goodnight, sweet Prince Mai. This Verez not really the best of duelists, especially against a Richter with all that ability or skill rotation that he has.
Chobits providing the pressure towards the bottom first tier tower. Elsu's going to be there. Start hitting on it as well. That's going to be a very quick tower going towards the way of IGP.
Such a fast game for them. This is not good for USG. They have to stop the bleeding as quickly as possible. But the thing is, they're running immediately out of options. They want to pull the trigger here because they know that there's a breadth of members of IGP right onto the bottom side. If they can keep sticking to this Richter, maybe, just maybe, they can make it work. But Mai does not have enough damage. They have to wait for the other lane or the other way to progress. Hippie, he's trying to go for it, but he's not connecting. He's going to go underneath the tower, so close to just dying, and it's not working out. Alistair has actually joined into the fight because it's not still going to be enough. Mai, though, there's way too much sustainability for Richter, and you know that was a desperation play for USG. You know that they were in a time clock, and now already 3 minutes into this game, I think USG, I don't think they have enough to punish. Chobits should be able to, well, survive. Never mind. Hippie does not come off, but the damage has been done.
Yep, 2 really quick towers on a very important part of the map there for the side of USG to fall. Oh, Dime gets locked down there by the Alistair. He has to watch out. The positioning is terrible. Slash Move might be able to get a kill on towards Dime, but he flickers out. Also tries to snipe. Oh, perfect timing there on Slash Moon. Able to survive on the last hit. That was so close.
Reaper's Blessing for you there. Able to give that protection just at the precipice of it. Look at this. They're trying to snipe out KA, but he's just so tanky that they can't really do anything at all. Even the Alistair joins into the fight, but that's the thing about Alistair. He doesn't really do too much. Mai was like 2 inches off of hitting KA's Richter, and it blew up in her face. Nobody was there to support her, so there was no real scenario where USG's Verez was supposed to be able to actually win that. And they get these trades that don't really work out well for them, and now it's all getting, you know, flipped up.
Deju has to use his ultimate to try and back off here. Dime Snipe does not connect. Slashman dropping down quite low. Ignis is here as well, but Deju will be bursted down. Ignis with the rotation, able to net themselves a kill on towards Deju, and that might be the top tier 1 tower falling as well.
He's right here.
Okay, coming from behind.
He's gonna be
Soda!
He's fine though. He was able to get over that, activates the ultimate in front of Chobits, but that was just a delay tactic for the most part for Soda here. Now this is the kind of the terrible thing when you're gonna be playing Arena of Valor, right? The more you're able to shut out your opponent, the less they can really try to come back into this game.
Yep.
And this is kind of like Basics 101, or that's a little bit redundant, but this is what 101 plays for IGP. The more that they kind of just force everything to go into their pockets, the less that it goes into USG, and with that, they're getting more and more advantages into their own side.
Yep, Hippie did manage to get a kill on towards KA, but did pay with his life. Not really able to get anything done across the map, as this kill graph is just way too huge right now. Look at the amount of items on towards Turtle. He is nigh unkillable with the amount of attack speed he has, and he's level 10 as well, so he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Soda trying to back off here, as the snipe will connect to slow him down, but Omega not able to close out the distance.
Soda was not able to get anything with this Alice there, and looking at how big the level discrepancy is, this is going to be a terrible way to start the fight. And now you can see the Turtle actually went in up onto Slash Moon. Slash Moon doesn't have a flicker, so he'll have to try to go for the chase. And, well, he did actually get Slash Moon. Mai got caught out right there, and Turtle's still right into the front lines. He's not afraid at all because he knows that if they try to go in, he's still going to be able to win out that duel. You have to respect this man right now because he is the true warmongerer for IGP.
Soda might fall here, but KA not able to finish him off. Deju trying to back off. Turtle able to run away as well, as Chobit inch of his life will pour out. That's going to be the first inner tower going towards the way of IGP.
Yeah, all they needed to do, or all Turtle needs to do right now, is just slap his opponent silly. Since they don't have any big crowd controls, he'll just get heal after heal after heal, and he's basically not going to die unless they focus on on him. But the big thing about focusing on this Kilgroth is that you open up the 4 other members of IGP to freedom, so they can do anything that they want in the fight, and that just means that it's kind of like turned into a really, really bad match for USG.
Without a Curse of Death or the magic, the tome as well, they will not be able to lock down this. They will not be able to burst down this Turtle before he's able to just constantly heal up. So that's going to be a very important issue.
To go over the wall there, Dejuo was able to get away. But this Darkslayer, yeah, they already know that if IGP get the Darkslayer, it's all over. They can't handle it anymore. They're gonna try to set up themselves onto Chobits, but he's pretty much the tanky pretty guy. There's going to be a little bit of initiation or sustainability there for Mime, but as Turtle was right into his face, it's not going to happen at all. Nice ultimate though from the Alistair onto Turtle, but it's just way too much. It's way too difficult because Turtle right now is level 12. He's basically two levels above, almost 3 levels above the highest level of USG.
Slashman just gets dived down, so does fall as well. Turtle. Ooh.
What a quick game.
Time just went in, snipe stomped the Omar, and just gonna end it right now. Looks like IGP is gonna tie things up right now. 2-2 is the current score on So Stop Gaming. Have they run out of steam? Or do they still have more fight in them? This is getting really close down towards the wire for both sides.
IGP really just kind of, looking deep into their bag of tricks, pulling out the Kilgroth, and it was the perfect scenario for an entire dominant performance from the Vietnamese squad. And it worked so well because there wasn't any proper lockdown at all for this Kilgroth, so even if they try to do it with the Alistair, he can only do it for a set amount of time. And then he has to wait for a big cooldown. Compared to like the Diao Chan, who can keep rotating her skill set, it's not as strong. And now you can really see that IGP, they're showing this is again a fortitude type of game. The longer that you can keep yourself consistent, the better you will be. And it seems like IGP are starting to keep, or are still keeping themselves consistent, but USG are falling off. And now we have ourselves a 2-2.
The start of the series was what not what we did not expect, but looks like IGP is finally showing up on the main stage here, showing that why they are the top seed on towards the first Group A. HTVC IGP. That's a pretty long team name.
I'm actually not sure what HTVC means.
It's the sponsor, I think. HTV channel.
Oh.
You will never know, but here it is. The player of the game for map number 4. It is of course Turtle once again. So much work done on his kill graph. Definitely just proving that this hero is absolutely monstrous if you do not counter it. So you do have to leave some way to work against that hero, you know, have more lockdown, have more easier sustain. They had the Alistair for that for map number 4 to try and lock him down, but you have to remember when the Alistair is casting his ultimate, the Aosu can just go to ham on towards your mage. And that has just proved so lethal against the lineup on the side of Unsold Stuff Gaming. And right now they are facing a possible, not I wouldn't say reverse sweep, but it's getting close to there because they started out with 2-0, but right now IGP struck back with 2 quick series of themselves.
IGP, they're not going to bend over that quickly to USG's bombardment at the very start of this series. Again, this is a best of 7. So if you're able to outwit your opponent, you're going to be able to win out this series. And it seems like we're just going to show you the highlights. After this highlights, the end game stats, and then we're gonna take I think another break. Just kind of give these players a little bit of time to recuperate, rejuvenate, regenerate, try to understand what they need to do. Definitely a 10 minutes that USG needs to get back on track. The thing is, can they really do so? Because IGP, they're showing right now that the amount of pool that they have in terms of heroes is staggering. It's a staggering amount.
Yeah, remember the first break we had? Suddenly we had IGP winning 2-0. What if the next break we'll see USG coming with another 2 wins as well? I mean, these breaks have been very pivotal for both of these teams.
Yeah, a little bit of a breather, man. Sometimes you need to take that break. Because again, in MOBAs, you can't pause when the game is running. Like compared to other games where you could say timeout to the coach, right? This thing, you have to keep the ball rolling. And sometimes you just, when you have the chance to be able to take a little bit of a step back, try to work things out with your teammates, that's a really crucial moment here. It's not all about just playing the game. It's trying to also think outside of when you're not playing the game. And definitely this break will try to help out USG, but on the other hand, that will also kind of give time for IGP to think, what's our next step into this domination in the quarterfinals?
Yep, exactly. And this is a great time for the coaches as well to rethink their strategies, looking at the amount of heroes left on both of the pools on both of these teams. There's just so much mind games happening across both of these teams that it's going to be a very crucial break for both of the teams.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we'll be back after a quick break here, and when we do, it's game number 5 already in this best of 7 series. We'll see what happens. Don't go anywhere. AIC 2019 will be right back.
ที่กำหนดเลือกรับฮีโร่1 ตัวจากทั้งหมดที่กำหนดรูปโปรไฟล์ลิมิเต็ดสุดน่ารักท่าเต้นเอฟเฟกต์พิเศษต่างๆภายในเกมฮีโร่ใหม่เอลันดอร์และสกินสุดเอ็กซ์คลูซีฟฟอร์จูนเทเลอร์เซฟิล่าพิเศษถึงวันที่1 ธันวาคมนี้เท่านั้นนอกจากนี้ผู้เล่นที่มีเลเวลถึง60จะได้รับสิทธิพิเศษหมุนกงล้อแห่งโชคชะตาเพื่อรับของรางวัลพิเศษรูปโปรไฟล์สกินลิมิเต็ดและไอเทมมากมายพิเศษเมื่อคุณเลเวล60ภายใน7 วันแรกคุณจะได้รับกรอบโปรไฟล์และเอฟเฟกต์สังหารคูปองแล้วพบกันใน Valor Pass ซีซั่น 11 เริ่ม 4 พฤศจิกายนนี้
เอ หมอทัศน์เคยได้รับพรจากฮอลลี่ไลท์เพราะฉะนั้นท่านถือว่าเก่งกาจที่สุดไม่จริงท่านแทนต่างหากที่เก่งที่สุด
นี่อย่าทะเลาะกันสิ พวกเจ้าสองคนน่ะเป็นเพื่อนสนิทกันไม่ใช่หรือไงฮะ
ใครจะอยากเป็นเพื่อนกับเจ้านี่กันข้าก็ไม่ได้อยากเป็นเพื่อนเจ้าเหมือนกันแน่
ตอนนั้นพวกเราก็ทะเลาะกันเพราะเรื่องแบบนี้สินะ ท่านราชินีนะ สามารถยิงธนูสยบราชาปีศาจได้เลยนะ
แต่ว่ามาลอสเก่งกว่าราชาปีศาจอีกนะ
นี่พวกเจ้าเนี่ย
ราชินีก็เก่งกว่าอยู่แล้ว
เลิกทะเลาะกันได้แล้ว
เจ้าไม่เชื่อข้าหรือไงอ่ะ
นี่ข้าน่ะไปเจอที่หนึ่งมา เราลองไปเดินสำรวจกันมะ
เอ๋
ถ้าเป็นเพื่อนกันจริงแล้วก็เจ้าต้องไปกับข้านะ มาเถอะหน้าเร็วสิ
กราบเธอะฉันว่าเราไม่ควรมาที่นี่นะ
จะตาขาวไปหน่อยเลยนะ เฮ้ยนี่เมาเซีย รีบมาดูนี่เร็วเข้า ไฟดวงเนี้ยสวยมากเลยนะ
เฮ้ยอีลันดอร์อย่าแตะไฟนั่นหลบไป
เมาเซีย ไม่นะ นี่ข้าทำอะไรลงไป
อีลันดอร์เจ้าจงไปสำนึกผิดต่อต้นไม้โลกเสียเถิด บาปของเจ้ายากที่จะอภัยได้ แต่ถึงแม้จะขังเจ้าไว้สัก100 ปี ก็คงไม่อาจชดเชยสิ่งใดได้ เพราะฉะนั้นเจ้าจงออกเดินทาง ตามหาวิธี ฟื้นคืนไฟแห่งดวงวิญญาณเสียเถิด
เลิกโทษตัวเองได้แล้วอีลันดอร์พี่อีลันดอร์พี่ครับเฮ้ยทำไมเงียบไปอ่ะพี่เป็นอะไรหรือเปล่าฮะ
นี่พวกเจ้ารู้อะไรไหม การมีเพื่อนที่คอยปกป้องซึ่งกันและกัน ก็ทำให้พวกเจ้าเป็นฮีโร่ที่เก่งกาจได้นะ
ไลท์วันนี้เรามาพบกับเอลันดอร์ฮีโร่ประเภทแครี่ชีวิตนั้นงดงามเสมอดุจดังบุปผายามแรกอรุณสกิลติดตัวโซซิล 1. การโจมตีปกติจะสร้างโซซิลใส่เป้าหมาย เมื่อครบ3 ครั้งจะสร้างความเสียหายเวทแก่ศัตรูในบริเวณ 2. เมื่อใช้สกิลหรือเก็บโซแลมการโจมตีปกติครั้งต่อไปจะโจมตีเพิ่ม1 ครั้ง 3. ภายใน3 วินาทีหลังจากใช้ทุกสกิลของเอลันดอร์เขาจะสามารถกดซ้ำเพื่อย้ายตำแหน่งไปยังโซแลมได้ทันทีสกิลบัตเตอร์ไฟวิงเมื่อใช้สกิลจะพุ่งไปยังทิศทางที่เลือกโดยทิ้งโซแลมไว้ณตำแหน่งเดิมตอนเลือกศัตรูโดยการกดสกิลนี้เข้าไปโจมตีกดสกิลนี้ทิ้งไว้เพื่อใช้เป็นโอกาสหลบหนีศัตรูในยามคับขันอันติเมทสกิลมอฟเมื่อใช้สกิลจะส่งโซแลมพุ่งไปยังทิศที่เลือกสร้างความเสียหายเวทและผลักศัตรูทั้งหมดในระยะหลังจากนั้นโซแลมจะค่อยๆเคลื่อนที่อย่างช้าๆไปเรื่อยๆผลักศัตรูที่ประชิดตัวออกไปเพื่อให้เสียเวลาเข้าประชิดหรือจะใช้สกิลนี้หนีศัตรูเพื่อไปยังทิศตรงข้ามความสำคัญที่สุดสำหรับเอลันดอร์ก็คือความคล่องแคล่วแครี่คนนี้มีสกิลที่ถูกออกแบบมาเพื่อจุกโดยเฉพาะเขาสามารถไปทางซ้ายและไปทางขวาในเวลาที่แทบจะพร้อมเพรียงกันได้หากตัวผู้เล่นเข้าใจขั้นตอนในการใช้สกิลของเขามากดีพอในช่วงต้นเกมการทำดาเมจของเขายังค่อนข้างต่ำแต่เขาก็สามารถใช้บัตเตอร์ไฟวิงช่วยในการกดดันเลนได้โดยการยิงทีเผลอการเคลียร์คลิปของเขาจัดได้ว่าไม่แย่เพราะสกิลติดตัวของเขาสามารถสร้างความเสียหายเป็นบริเวณสำหรับการต่อสู้กับฮีโร่หากเป็นฮีโร่ยิงไกลด้วยกันแล้วเอลันดอร์อาจจะต้องใช้จังหวะยิงฟรีเพื่อสร้างความได้เปรียบในการแลกแต่หากต้องปะทะกับฮีโร่ตีไกลเขาจะได้เปรียบมากเพราะเขาสามารถใช้บัตเตอร์ไฟวิงและบัตเตอร์ไฟแดนในการหลอกสกิลทิ้งระยะและหลบหนีได้แบบต่อเนื่องจนยากที่สายประชิดตัวจะตามทันนอกจากนี้อัลติเมทอย่างม็อบยังใช้ขัดจังหวะทีมไฟท์และจังหวะไล่ล่าของศัตรูได้ดีมากเอลันดอร์สามารถเล่นได้ทั้งป่าและเลนแล้วแต่คุณจะเลือกอย่าลืมกดติดตามเพื่อชมวิดีโอใหม่และไลฟ์สดก่อนใคร
No sense in running from me. Fuck.
อย่าลืมกดติดตามเพื่อชมวิดีโอใหม่และไลฟ์สดก่อนใคร
ครั้งนี้ห้องเราต้องชนะ ขอลูกแบงค์หน่อย เฮ้ นี่มันไม่ใช่ลูกแม็กซ์ซะหน่อย
ไอเยเท
ขอเงินตัดผมหน่อยสินะ100 เดียวเอง ขอร้องล่ะ ไม่งั้นฉันแย่แน่ๆ ขอบคุณนะ
ไฮยะเท
เฮ้ย ขอตังค์กินข้าวหน่อยเด
เราใช้ไปหมดแล้ว
นั่นไง
เป็นไฟล์เหรอไถเก่งจัง
ว่าไงนะ
ออกกำลังกายเหรอ กล้ามใหญ่จัง
ใครเตะวะ
ไฮยะเทเท
เอ๊ะโดนจู่โจมแบบสายฟ้าแลบมาชมคนอื่นว่าน่ากินแบบนี้มัน
คาราเกะ
ขอให้เลี่ยนตาย
วาซาเบะ
มีของอร่อยไม่แบ่งเลยนะ
อะไรก็ไม่รู้เล่นเกมดีกว่า เฮ้ฮีโร่ตัวใหม่นี่นา ชื่ออะไรกันนะ
ไฮยะเทมีคาราเกะด้วย
And we are back here, guys, for the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019. The playoffs, or rather the quarterfinals, have truly begun as IGP Gaming and USG Unsold Stuff Gaming are on a head-on collision. 2-for-2 as of the moment, and we're looking for IGP to kind of keep the ball rolling, keep the snowball bigger.
Yeah, this was what we expected for them to, start off the series with, but they started off the series a little bit slow, letting USG get the first 2 maps, but they have woken up from their slumber and getting 2 maps of their own, tying things up, and we are down to the last 3 maps. There are not much great heroes left in the pool right now in terms of the global ban pick. If we ever reach to the 7th map, the 7th round, then we'll have all the heroes available, which at that point, who do you think has the upper hand? We've seen both of these teams play their best heroes to different results. But, once all of these heroes are left open to pick up, who do you think has the upper hand?
I think if everything is back on the table in terms of the picks, I think USG have a better shot at winning because they just understand how the flow of the game works. But the thing is, can they actually reach that point? That's I think that's the bigger question here, because it seems like they're kind of running out of steam, because it's not a burst of speed that wins you this race. It's a marathon, exactly. So being able to again keep your composure will definitely give you an edge. And IGP, well, the edge is theirs. It's begun. This is game number 5. Let's see if USG still has what it takes to take away at this Vietnamese juggernaut.
Yeah, Chris as well as the Darcy banned out there for the side of IGP. While Zip taken out there by USG. As well as the Florentino. We haven't seen Florentino picked up there by IGP. So they are going to take that out, not giving IGP that option. One of the stronger Dark Slayer lane heroes as well.
Yeah, they really do respect the Zip as well, because we haven't seen Zip ever at all. It's probably a stronger support than the Kha'Zix because of that ability to just suck your teammates in and pull them off of danger. Now IGP, they have dibs on the first pick. We've seen almost everything. I don't think they actually picked up Varese themselves, so that is definitely kind of a good starter pick for them in terms of like at least overall. But we now have to kind of go into the what do you say is the other picks, or the you know, the much not so known picks in the top tier meta. But it seems like they're not the ones to have used Murad in the previous. That was only Hippie, so they still have, you know, the Sands of Time with the in their arsenal.
Yeah, the Prince of the Desert is the first pick there for the side of IGP there. We will have Turtle most likely playing the Murad, and we've seen him just absolutely demolish games just with his hero. We've seen him win with both the Killgraph as well as the Kriknak. You know, both games he was the MVP. He was a player of the round, player of the match there for the side of IGP. So definitely all eyes on this Murad.
USG immediately right off the bat, they look for a team fight. They seem to be a composition. They seem to be a bunch of players, a bunch of friends here that don't really want not to have the ability to force fights themselves, or, you know, win out fights themselves, and they need something big, strong, and beefy to do that. Baldoom is just the man with the plan, and they do put him into action. Now, speaking of the Varese, there's the hover over from IGP here. It's a very good start for them, and they immediately take out the Liliana because all of their mid picks are starting to kind of fizzle out, and Liliana is one of the ones that they really need to bring to the table to keep themselves afloat, at least for that mid lane.
Yeah, it's one of their favorite heroes to pick as well. We do see IGP really love that Liliana played by Lak in towards the mid lane. So finally getting it on not being banned out there from the side of USG. So definitely when they see it open, they will pick it right away. This is one of their stalwart mid picks for the side of IGP, and Lak has more than once demolished with that hero. So, ooh, what do we have here? Soda.
Is this gonna be in the jungle? Oh, it is.
Nakrov, one of the Vietnamese favorite in pubs, in the ladder, in ranked, or even in tournaments. You'll see the Nakrov, one of the best, one of the most staple jungle heroes in any Vietnamese team.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about Nakrov is that he has one of the best mobility tools around team fights. I think he is one out of the 2 heroes in AOV that has like a triple dash with his, I believe that is his Jury Fury. Yeah, I don't know. Every skill I think is able to make it happen. So he's pretty strong in that regard. So this is also kind of like a really nice pick as well, because it does he can actually bypass crowd controls as well with his own ultimate.
He is a little bit squishy, and if he gets controlled in any way, that he usually just goes towards the back line, tries to look for the support or even the mage if he can, because he's very squishy. He doesn't like crowd control as much, especially those instant stuns hitting his way, because he's just way too squishy.
Preda still being banned out here by IGP. They really don't want to deal with the Preda wave. It's a really nice tool. It's actually stronger than the Alistair a while ago. And now USG, once again, they have to kind of figure out, what do we bring to the mid lane? We've almost expended our own mid pick resources here. Because that's the thing. Drafting now, it's not reset. So every single hero that you pick up is a resource that you're expending that you're not going to be able to use onto the next game. So they have to think, you know, deep and wide what they want to bring. But of course, since it wasn't picked anymore by IGP, it's already been picked the previous game. Ignis is back on the table, and USG pick up that hot potato, pick up that fire mage, and well, they need to make good use of him, because next game they have none of these really spicy picks anymore.
There is plenty of setup for the Ignis with the Yena as well as the Bowdom, so definitely seeing the train of thought here coming from the side of the Japanese team. IGP, oh. No Violet, so Talanas, next best thing. Lumber is still... Oh, or Teamy. Anything to keep the Talanas alive is definitely open for the side of IGP, but will they make it work here? They do have the more tankier mid right now with the Liliana. It's not an Ignis, it's not a Diao Chan, so this Liliana can play in your face, and they have the Talanas as well as the Teamy keep everyone alive.
The thing is, this Nacroth can actually be an ADC, and Unsold Stuff don't have to have a range hero themselves. The Nacroth, if they wanted to, can make him to kind of charge down a Talanas. But now, they're going to be looking towards the Valheim. We've seen other teams kind of use this Valheim in the jungle as an AP hitter. It works well. We'll see if they really will put this Nacroth into the jungle. Seems like it will be. So that's going to be Hippie using the dual wielder himself.
Another
Valheim, yeah.
Another question will be: will Slashmo be playing a physical Valheim or a magical Valheim? Because there is plenty of magic damage already from the side of USG with the Ignis as well as the Nacroth, but definitely Valheim in terms of magic, he can burst down the Talanas really quickly if he catches him out.
But both of these ADCs, for sure, if they try to go for physical damage, will be a bit more
stable.
Yeah, stable, late game centric.
Yeah.
So we'll see them kind of spike once we try to hit around 9 minutes onwards into this game. The other thing, I like that. You know, like hip hip hooray! You're gonna be able to win this game.
Yep. Keep everyone's morale up and running. They did have the momentum coming from the last 2 wins, but will the short break before map number 5 change things? We'll just have to wait and see, because looking at both of these lineups, who do you favor more?
I'm thinking hard, like long and hard about it. Here's the thing, if the Baldoom Dejuwall for USG is incredible this game, I have to give it to USG. But if it doesn't, I feel like IGP's composition is a tad bit better, just because they have so much more crowd controls to work with and pick off as well. Talanas, you have to respect that even though she doesn't have the strongest of auto attacks at the very start of the game, once she hits level 4, once she gets that ability to stun targets, it will be so devastating, because the follow-up from her teammates is going to be, I think, going to net a kill.
Definitely, and we'll have to wait and see which one of these teams will take the lead after 2 very gruesome breaks here. This is going to be IGP Gaming versus Unsold Stuff Gaming in map number 5. This is a very crucial round because they are almost out of heroes. Oh my, gets hooked back there by the Varus. Able to dash away. Yena, very slippery hero to lock down.
That's actually a thing. There's like double hooks, double hooks for IGP with the Teamy as well, if you think about it. They have a lot of ability to initiate the fights and actually stick to their targets, which I don't think USG also can do. Soda here is already taking quite a bit of damage, as that is the Liliana able to traverse around the AoE of Soda. Now, an Ignis matchup against a Liliana is more skill-based, so if you're able to understand where your opponent's going to be, if you can predict where they're going to be able to go, you will win as an Ignis. But if not, the Liliana will be able to kind of out-duel you most of the time.
Yeah, landing those skill shots is so important for the Ignis. Liliana having the slightly more mobility and slightly more tankier than the Ignis as well.
Yeah, I mean, how can you deal damage if you don't hit your shots?
Exactly. And the Ignis is almost fully magical damage. Valheim getting the upper hand in this lane slightly just because of how fast that he attacks. Oh, but Murad almost level 4, and the first rotation coming from this Murad. Once again, we always see these jungles, they set the tempo of the match, and the Murad, wherever the Murad goes is where we will have to follow, as he looks like he's going to make Chobits.
Oh no, the Chobits is not even level 4 right now. He's so weak, and they actually dive in onto him. It's pretty big. Turtle here, though, is chasing them down. One more hit could be it, and there is the knockdown onto Chobits. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Nacroth's sticking power, able to just dash through and keep his target in his sights. Looking at it, Hippie could be in a pretty bad spot. Teamy is actually joining in onto the fight. Soda is in a 1v1 against Lack, and here they dive in right onto Turtle, but Soda mispositioned and will get punished in the end. Hippie kind of overextending there, wanting to be saved by Soda, kind of had to actually give Soda up. That's not what you want to do.
Nice.
If they can get Turtle, this is big. And even Slash Moon gets the last hit. That's perfect for Slash Moon.
That was a great start there for Hippie. And Nakarov, as any jungler, wants to have that fantastic early start, and he was part of 3 kills, which is going to boost his economy quite a bit. As you can see, he's already up to 1.6k, already finishing his Gilded Greaves. And his jungle item is gonna be almost upgraded as well. Oh no, Chobit.
Team is not level 4 yet.
Second death for him.
Big play there for USG. This is the rotation that we were talking about. Now that they have the ability to force fights, now that they've kind of set a precedence, they're going to be able to kind of, you know, bridge or extend the gap here. It's not really the biggest gap because IGP have stuck to their lanes and they're getting good economy from the creeps. But of course, all around, Turtle is having a very difficult time. KA here should be get knocked out. One more hit from Pepe should be it. And Mai able to escape. Liliana is onto the wayside but is not close enough to follow through. Soda's able to also escape that. Big plays coming out from USG.
Yeah, this is going to be Hippie's game to lose. He has just have an absolutely fantastic start here. 1 kill, 3 assists so far, and top of the net worth across both teams. The Terranas, of course, keeping very closely as well from the side of IGP. So it depends whether this Terranas will be caught out before the Nakrov is able to jump towards him, because we did see Dime falling earlier on, using the flicker very aggressively to try and kill off the Valheim, but he did pay with his life. So once again, very skill-based matchup across both of these teams.
I think it's going to be much more safer for the Talanas now. She does have the teaming already up to level 5, so the being bro is there. But the thing about that is, being a bro works the best if your teammate is actually the one who got bursted down. If you use being a bro on yourself and you got bursted down, you basically make your entire team vulnerable because your ultimate is not available anymore. I mean, that's kind of like the gist of it. You know, the way to counter invulnerability. Anyways, there's a big fight.
Here we go, Turtle getting caught out. He's going to fall. This Murad trying to fight back. He will not be able to, as it's going to be Hippie setting the tempo once again. Chobits has to run away, dropping very low. Dime. Terranas has no more skill. He has to back off. Soda is caught out in a bad spot. He's caught between 3. Will Hippie and Slash Moon back him up? There's Soda trying to back off, but he's able to. The constant shields just keeping him alive for way too long. Murad trying to finish things off. Soda still pretty healthy for himself, and Turtle will not be able to finish things off.
That really helps out IGP here, not losing anybody and getting back into lane to get a little bit more farm, a little bit more CS will help their case. But look at this, Slash Moon's attack speed is incredibly quick as of the moment. He's already 3-1-1. He outscales Talanas by a huge margin. And with that in mind, he's going to be able to provide such a painful damage output for his team. Good wave clear for Mai. You can see onto the side there is Deji. He's waiting for an angle here, but he really can't find it because Laklak is not committing to these fights. While that is happening, they have to go all the way up to top lane, as Valheim will be pushing that. They're going to be using his power to clear out the waves fast to be able to get more objectives for USG. I really like the mentality behind this, and this will allow USG to kind of, you know, keep a little bit of advantage to their side.
Chobix hooks towards Soda, and not able to fight back. KA still fighting forward with the Varus. Murad ultimate not really hitting up towards anyone, and looks like that's going to be both teams just backing off, licking their wounds slightly for the moment. Deju opening up the map for Slash Moon. He has already the Blitz Blade completed, so this tower is going to fall really quickly if there's no rotations coming in. Hippie steals the blue buff, as well as maybe get Soda, a lot of damage coming from the Murad, but not able to bring down Soda.
You saw how quick Hippie was just able to get out of that jungle and go straight into the face of the Abyssal Dragon. I love how that kind of just works for the Nakrov. They line up for Soda here. That's big damage, but here comes Temporal Turbulence from the Murad. He actually gets the kill with the help from KA, and this works out well for them because at the opposite side is a Talanas breaking down towers in the top lane. This is just a 4 versus 5, and it works out incredibly well for IGP. Yes, they lose Turtle, but at the end of the day, it's economy back into the pockets of IGP. Mai's going to be coming in here, gets stunned underneath the tower. I don't think she's going to be able to survive this, but with her teammates, maybe, just maybe. But Mai is down. Dejual, can he really follow it up with the help of Soda? It seems like that's going to be a no, and that is going to be IGP getting themselves a big chunk of lead with that particular play.
My oh my, that Murad ultimate just dealt so much damage. And the Mai just overstaying his welcome there, trying to do his best to defend the mid-tier 1 tower. Hippie dropping quite low. Dime is there. He has the range to try and fight back against this Nakrov, but the Nakrov way too low. He's going to back off, and this bottom tower is up for the taking for this Telanas.
So strong. Look at that. Able to just beat out opponents left, right, and center. And this is also a thing that's going to be working into the favor of IGP. Telanas' range is something that they have to deal with because everybody's very short range. Even the Valhalla is pretty short range. So they have to walk up into Telanas.
Yep.
And once she increases her range with her skills, it's going to be a tough time kind of breaking through that zone that she has around the map. Now, Valheim could be in a real tricky situation here. Hippie is right inside with Dejual to stop that from happening, but this is going to be a full-blown team fight. Murad is not into the fight,
no, Dime.
so they can actually make it happen. They're chasing it down. She does have being a bro with Chobits here. Maybe they can take it off, but it seems like Chobits was not in range and actually got knocked off. There is going to be the catch on it. Slashman is waiting right in center. He doesn't even use his ultimate. He just knows it's just going to be a waste of time. That Darkslayer is already up and running, and Murad has joined in onto the fight, but he was a little bit too late, and that is already 2 members of IGP knocked down.
Positioning by Dime was just a little bit off, just being caught out there, absolutely just too far away from his teammates. The teammate could not have saved him.
It was pretty epic, yeah.
Looking at the item builds coming from Dime, he has no defensive items whatsoever. He went for a Cliff Sanctity followed by a Slick Sting, so that is full-on burst damage as much as he can. So he does really have to watch out of his positioning, not to get isolated like that anymore, because if he just keeps getting caught out, you do no damage when you're dead. Here we have it once again.
Yeah, that was perfect, because look at the spacing. They pulled Teamy or Chobits away from their own teammate.
And then the Bowdom ultimate.
Yeah, big follow-up there. That's going to give Slashman a kill. And I really love the idea of USG. They were able to kind of just think that, you know what, if Teamy's going to be able to protect her, why don't we just push her away? Make it so that, you know, this Telanas will not have the ability to revive herself. We're going to make it so that our efforts into taking her down really do take her down. So being able to split her away from the Teamy helped her in that fight. And now Hippie has to back away here. Will get caught out in the middle. They can actually burst Chobits right now. He's going to activate the ultimate onto himself, but this is what I'm talking about. They waste the ultimate onto Chobits. But no, hold that thought. It seems like IGP are going to collapse onto the top lane. Deju was already out. Hippie does have a dash. Slashman though, no. They kind of put their sights too heavily onto the support, and they paid the ultimate price for that. Hippie's trying to run away here, but there's some speed onto the Liliana. Coming from the sidelines, there's going to be a setup onto the bush trap, but it seems like that's not going to be enough because the Murad is so dang strong. My on the other hand will be in a 1 versus 5, and at the end of the day, it's just going to be Dime once again to win it out, and that's going to be Darkslayer for IGP.
The flank coming from IGP was just absolutely perfectly timed, using the Chobits as a bait to bait them into a very tough spot there where they had to split up and they could not retreat as a unit, and they already used up the Bowdom ultimate aggressively as well. So, ooh, that was just very painful there for the side of USG, as Turtle already completes his next item. The Omni Arms is going to provide so much damage for his Temporal Turbulence.
Now, if we kind of dissect what happened in that previous team fight, it could have actually gone very well for USG because they burnt the ultimate of Chobits. Yep. And like you said, because they tried to overextend and try to shut down Chobits, that's when they lost the fight. But if they went back, they already expended the being a bro of Teamy, they could have used it to their advantage. They could have reset a little bit, wait for the teammates first, made it into a 5 versus 5, and that's when the safety for the Telanas, you know, her safety belt is no longer available. That could have been something to have worked with, but now the 6,000 gold lead is going to be much difficult for them.
Soda!
Yeah, there's just so much damage for the Murad.
Did not have enough stacks, or else he could have just killed off Soda right there and there. He does have it right now. Oh, nope, just playing with the opponent there. It's really scary when you see a Murad going in like that.
He chases down even further if they wanted to.
But with the Drake helping to bring down the inner tower, that's going to be an easy tower. Nothing lost at all there for the side of IGP. They get a clean tower and they are going for more here as the Slayer buff is still active. Soda has to watch out. He's just way too aggressive in his positioning. Turtle, does he want no ultimate?
Oh my goodness, one more hit, he actually flickers over! And there was no way for them to punish because the tower and the bottom lane is already destroyed.
And Slash Moon gets destroyed there by Turtle with his ultimate. He has to back off, but this is a very tough... Oh, but a knockoff coming from backline will be bringing down Baldum, who does fall in the end though. Nice ultimate locking down the Talanas for a little bit. But he will pay with his life there as 3 heroes are down for the side of Unsolved Stuff. Hippie thinking about it, trying to even out the odds, but has to back out. Just has to cut the creep waves.
I don't think Deji ever wanted to use that Baldum ultimate to actually lock down Dime. He wanted to lock down Chobit or maybe even Lak Lak so that they can focus on Dime. But because they couldn't, because they didn't, it kind of went onto the wayside. Now, Hippie's back onto here. He can actually chase down onto Lak Lak pretty well. Chobit does not have his ultimate, so this is a possible comeback for USG. If they can make this happen, maybe in the next 30 seconds they can get the Dark Slayer. But IGP, knowing this, just back away. They even get themselves that mid-tier 3, and that's a big objective for IGP.
Right now, IGP, they do have to look for any kill right now to try and stall out the game. They do still need a couple of more items on this Valheim because this Valheim pick has not been working out there. He did go for the physical damage build, but it has not been paying out. He's just way too squishy. The Murad just basically blows him up, and the Murad Masa also completed on towards the Murad. That is just absolutely crazy there on towards Turtle. He's just doing too much damage.
The thing here is they really are going to be looking at Hippie to deal the most amount of damage, and he is doing that. But the thing is, if he tries to trade and isn't Dime that actually falls down, it's going to be bad. And now that they can't actually get this mid-tier 1, maybe it's going to work out bad for them, but they still actually run through their opponents. It seems like that was enough to push them back, and Lak Lak is down. But, of course, tier 3 towers are destroyed for USG, mid and bottom, so they have to work twice as hard to break at this mid-tier 1 and even the mid-tier 3 of AGP.
Lak Lak almost kills off 2.
Oh, he's going to hit
life. Hippie as well as Slash Moon almost gets decimated there by the Liana.
They can actually turn this around if they have enough time.
Oh no.
5 seconds, they just have to dive onto the Nexus and oh my god, that's it! Oh, what?
What is going on here? Unsolved Stuff, what an upset, what a comeback there. Okay, we need some time.
Oh my god! USG! How did they... We have to watch that replay again. I want to dissect that as much as possible because USG... Look at the breath, the sigh of relief. They lost 2 tier 3 towers. They won a team fight. And they took out Lak Lak. And even after that, Lak Lak did not delay enough that his teammates weren't able to respond back into the game, which netted USG to say, oh my goodness, oh crap, we can actually still push and win this.
That was way too close. If she just had a little bit more damage, that would have been both Hippie as well as Slash Moon dead. And that would have been the end of the push. That would have just closed out the game, and IGP would have been able to just play the safer game and end it around. But lacked just a little bit of damage. Slash Moon and Soda survived within an inch of their life, and they just managed to blow him up and just end the game right about there.
He committed so much onto Hippie. Actually, I didn't notice this. Did Hippie have the resurrection item?
No. He did not. If he was dead right there. He did have the golden armlet, which gives you a shield. The name just slips my mind.
It's okay. We'll get back onto that because, you know, the more important fact here is that Hippie, again with his long finger, is carrying USG to victory. Look at that.
The further you can reach, the further
better your performance.
Exactly. Seems like seems to be the tempo so far as far as this series goes.
Check this out. His kill participation is 71.4%.
But there's only, what, 10 kills he's participated, so that's, what, 14 kills in total for the team?
Yeah, not really a big amount for USG there, but they're 1 away from winning this game. How is this happening? There it is, the highlights. All right, I want to see the last one because that was obviously the most important fight there.
Yep.
How did they actually win that? Like everything else, it just looks so perfect for them.
Felt like IGP was just feeling too comfortable and then just, stuck together as 5 and they just got blown up.
Yeah. USG also had a very difficult time kind of understanding what they had to do with the Murad play, because you saw Soda was getting shot there by the temporal turbulence, and everybody else was trying, like, frantically try to go to Soda, but they didn't wait for the activation of that turbulence to actually go on cooldown.
Yep.
So it blew 3 people apart, and they could just wait for Soda to absorb all the damage before anything else. But
Do you
I
think
don't
they
know.
could have ended the game right here?
I don't think so.
committed to it?
Because like they cleared out the minions, so it would have been very difficult to destroy the Nexus.
Here it is. I think this was the fight. This.
Oh, Hippie didn't get knocked out there. He was still alive with a sliver. I thought Dime was actually able to knock him out, and he was using the wave to get back to it.
Yeah, and at this point, the Hercules Madness on Hippie was on cooldown, so if he got bursted here, that would have been no damage to end the game. Look at the amount of HP that Slash Moon and Hippie has. Basically, just a little bit more ability power, and that would have been turning things around, but that just, wow. Unbelievable play coming from the side of USG.
I honestly thought that Dime, or at least one of the members of IGP there, were able to trade in terms of getting kills onto USG, but my mind or my eyes deceived me. I actually thought, because like his damage was pretty insane, but it seems like he got zoned out well enough that USG was able to crash in fast and then pick them off one by one, which is amazing for the Japanese team.
And also, if you notice the positioning of the Baodum, he was always in front, so the Tauanas just constantly kept hitting the tank. He couldn't deal damage to the Nakrov or even the Valheins, which was able to continuously deal damage.
Yeah.
And that just made the Tauanas, very less effective. And of course, the Baodum ultimate catching the Tauanas in the end just set things up for a very unbelievable victory coming from USG.
We still have one game before USG can win this. But IGP, again, they were able to do the same thing before. They might do it again and push this to a game number 7. We're done with the 5th game, so we're going to go to the 6th game. See, I'm terrible with my math because I have to keep counting, but this has been just such a back and forth game. It's
exactly. It is.
Exactly. It's a battle. It's a definite, how do you say this, kind of neck and neck battle here. I honestly thought that we were going to be starting this game off with IGP blowing past USG, where USG might have gotten a game off, but now it's definitely blown me asunder, and I love it.
Yeah, I was reading the YouTube comments on the stream, and people were saying it would have been unbelievable if Japan would be knocked out the 2nd seed of Vietnam. This is the country which won AWC. These are the players that have been constantly being such a huge threat to the entire world in terms of Arena of Valor, and right now they are on the precipice of being pushed out there by a very underdog Japanese team who finished 4th in their group, and right now is 1 game away from knocking out one of the favorites in AIC 2019.
Yeah, you have to respect the Japanese though. They're a country that have originated a lot of competitive games, so they know their stuff. They know their stuff, from fighting games to shooters to MOBAs. They have gone through thick and thin, but of course it's just kind of like a little bit of kind of like a little bit of background for you guys. And now this is match point for Unsold Stuff Gaming. Starting off this ban, Zip and Florentino still available for IGP. Don't ever allow that to actually pull through, because I feel that Florentino will be such a huge threat, especially in the hands of KA. Violet, since there is no more ADC for IGP to kind of work with, they get it because they don't have anything else.
And they have to get it early because USG has been constantly banning out the Violet on the 2nd phase. So right now, knowing that, looking at the amount of hero pools, ADCs they have left, Violet, and that's pretty much it.
That's
there is no more tier 1 ADCs for them to pick up. So they have to pick up the Violet, or be forced to pick up something subpar like a Valheim. Ooh, really tough spot to be in for IGP right now.
Omen and Raz. So I think IGP don't have that much mages left as well in their pockets. With that in mind, there's no real counter to the Raz anymore. Alright, let's see how many picks IGP has used in terms of mid lane. Yeah, there's not much counter to the Raz.
There's no more L'Oreal, there's no more fast wave clears with the Crixie or the Liliana as well, so they are down in their ropes. Maybe this might be a mid Violet.
That could work. It could actually help out because she does win the matchup against the Raz in a 1 versus 1 in the lane. Of course, Arena Valor, very fast-paced game. It's not like you're going to be 1v1 for much long, but at least for that particular
at
time,
the start.
yeah, Violet can use that to her advantage. Fennec hasn't been actually used by USG, so it is going to be their next here onto the board. Still not particularly sure if this is going to be a mid-Violet, but if they do get maybe a Preda for IGP, I feel like that still gets countered by the Raz because Preda still has to charge the wave compared to the Crixie who could just throw it out. So that's still something that USG do get an advantage over against IGP here. But I do like the starting picks of IGP. It's the best that they can get for the meantime. The Rourke very strong in the jungle as well.
They do ban out the Preda for the side of USG, so looking at the amount of mages left, not much left in the hands for IGP. Maybe a Vera, maybe a Talon, but not the best heroes against Owen, Finnick, and Raz. They are just way too squishy. The Raz can just instantly blow up the Talon or even the Vera, or even the Violet if he just gets caught out there. The Raz can just knock him out of position and just blow him up right
If they're gonna go teamfight centric, then we might be actually seeing IGP pick up, and this is just me kind of throwing something into the abyss, right? A Jinnar. Because Jinnar is one of the mages from like way back in the day that was pretty strong in team fights because he has the ability to, I believe, heal teammates and then deal AoE damage with his orbs. So that should kind of even out IGP's comp if they really want to go for a team fight, especially Roxy is here.
We actually forgot about the Azenka, which is basically like a budget Diao-chan.
Budget Diao-chan.
Yeah, with the crowd control and the damage.
I mean, once everything's dried up, right?
Yeah.
From ice to sand. That's true. That's true.
Lumber banned out there by USG. They did think about banning another mage, which was the Illumia, but sticking to another support ban here. Roxy.
You kind of remove the setup though with having the lumber, right? So IGP have very little to kind of open up this entirety of this game, or the entirety of the initiates rather. So that will help the case of USG here. Now the first pick for USG, it's gonna be very crucial. They still need a jungler. They still need a support. Yeah, the support.
It could be a Fennec jungle.
That could actually also work.
It's really fast-paced if the Fennec goes towards the jungle, but it might not be something that Hippie plays often. We see him play on the more, the playmaking role, with all the heroes. We've seen him play with the Nakaroth, with the Zephyrs as well. So he likes something that has crowd control. And Fennec does have a little bit of a slow, but not too much. So that might not be the play style that USG is used to, or Hippie is used to, in fact.
If they wanted to, they could actually have gone for the Irie, but...
Irie's still open?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's not really the strongest anymore, but if they really want something to jungle with. And this is still like an open-ended pick for USG here. They still haven't told if this Fennec will be jungle or ADC. And a net is just kind of like something as a exit strategy. Like, whatever you pick in terms of this last two picks, if it's anything initiate, because we already knocked out the lumber, and Annette will be so strong in pushing everyone away with her own SS. So that's definitely going to give USG a little bit of an edge in the team fights.
Last two picks here by IGP. They have to close things out, force it to a map 7. Omar as well as Illumia being hovered over. So looks like this will be a rogue jungle.
That is going to be the Illumia in mid.
So decent lockdown, decent damage from Illumia, because I guess the main source of damage will be coming up from this Violet as well as Rourke.
I mean, they can use Roxy to tether someone in long enough for the Illumia ult to actually connect. So it's like a chain CC, and then you have your Ormar to kind of follow up after that. So in a sense, it's kind of like a really nice pick-off mechanic for IGP here. But the thing is, if you look at how USG have positioned their characters or have used their characters, it's only the Fennec, I think, who's going to be in a really tight spot in terms of that pickoff. But that's why you have the Annette. And now looking up into it.
Oh, Ryoma, something we haven't seen in quite some time here. Dragon Slayer or Jungle Ryoma?
I think it's going to be Jungle Ryoma.
Yeah, you have the Omen for the DS lane.
Yeah, I don't think Omen works super well in the jungle.
No, way too slow.
Unless Ryoma here is going to provide... And here's the thing.
Oh, it's a Fennec jungle. Hippies using it. Oh, no.
No, they're going to trade
Trolling
up.
us.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's been told to me time and time again. The reason why people don't pick Ryoma as much is that he's only strong in the beginning.
Yes, in the lane.
He lacks so much in terms of mobility that he gets caught out very, very quickly. But I think that's okay with them because USG here are going to be forcing fights more so than just trying to disengage. And they're going to go in at this hard. They're going to go at this furiously, even at the very start. And this is something that we have to watch out for as game or match point is all ready for Unsold Stuff Gaming game number 6.
Yeah, and we did see the coach of USG just leaving the booth with his teeth showing. He looks pretty happy with the draft. Let's see if his team is able to bring out the best in this whole lineup here. Map game number 6 is always such an interesting map in a best of 7 series because that's when all your tier B heroes or
kind of come out.
Yeah, or off meta heroes coming out. We do see the Raz, we do see the Annette coming out from the side of USG. Will HTVC IGP Gaming be knocked out here? Or will Unsold Stuff Gaming be forced to play a map 7? This is just way too crucial of a map right now. One game away from elimination. Will IGP Gaming make it on to the semifinals, or will they finish their run in the 2019 Arena of Valor International Championship at a very disappointing shared 8th place finish? Let's wait and see as we are going into map number 6.
Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5
Here we are, guys. Again, awaken your ambition. And definitely Unsold Stuff Gaming, they've had themselves the early alarm clock up and running because they're woke. They're woke right now. Coming into this 6th game, they are already on match point, and one more game, they go into the grand finals. I feel like a shudder has been done as the Vietnamese fans definitely still rooting for their heroes here. But can they bring this back?
This is something we haven't seen IGP do for an entire game, which is try and steal the jungle. If they did manage it to get it, Turtle will be the one to get the blue buff, and but he has to back up. He cannot die here because that's going to be so devastating for a jungle to die this early on, and he does fall. Hippie will be the one to pick it up, so he gets the blue buff back right away. Very crucial pickup here for the side of Unsold Stuff Gaming.
Granted, though, that they kind of wanted to really force the issue there, but the thing is, that's not such a good area to try to counter jungle because, again, the wall of the Abyssal Dragon blocks their path. So you saw that they had to flicker or dash over the wall just to escape the clutches of Unsold Stuff who were going to try to harass them. And even though there was a nice amount of response for the other members of IGP, it still wasn't enough positioning for them that they got the upper hand in that one. And that will really cost them the fight there. Mai is actually here into the bottom lane. So they're trying to kind of try to dodge the Fennec away from the Violet just because Violet does outrange the Fennec ever so slightly. And it does give it a little bit of an edge for Dime here. Or maybe it's the other way around. I think...
Depends whether the Fennec keeps rotating, because if the Fennec rotates, that means that he does not want to face against the Violet, which seems to be the case right now. They are just playing such a fast tempo game for the side of USG right now, moving around with your ADC as well as the rest of the heroes.
The scary thing here is that they're really using this Ryoma to its fullest extent. So if he doesn't have that much mobility at the very start, why not just, not push him to be mobile at all? Just rotate with him and try to get objectives. And the thing that I love about the Fennec that is being used for the most part by USG is that they're using his wave clear to kind of just make it just so he can just rotate with his team, but he overextended a little bit there, and he will pay the price with his life.
That's the recovery kill that they really needed on towards Turtle. Oh, Lactla gets caught out to be on his face, and he's going to fall. Illumia ultimate going to connect, but not going to do anything else other than that. So that's going to be a huge kill on towards this Ryoma. But top tower, oh, great pickup there by IGP. Seeing that 4 heroes are towards the mid, will do some damage and now back off.
Trying to force him out for the moment there. Dime is in the mid for now. And this has kind of been a topsy-turvy game. Like, everybody that we're supposed to see on their own respective lanes are not on their lanes anymore because USG have put another shift of gears, so to speak, here. Because you're seeing that now that they're kind of overextending and trying to take the jungle of IGP as quickly as possible. They've netted themselves like a 300, 400 gold lead, and it's working out pretty well for them.
This has been just so much of a fast tempo game. Not really staying in any single lane to just get more economy, but just pushing out the lanes, trying to get a kill, rotate to another lane, and just keep IGP on their toes because they do not know which lane that they will hit next. It looks like it will be towards the top as Roxy being dived on. KA will be locked down and dead as well. Illumia tried to help out with her global ultimate, but not able to, as Fennec will be able to bring this tower down really quickly, or not. That
was a creative way to shut down the mobility of the Roxy because you have so many slows and a little bit of CC with the Ryoma. You kind of just net it together, and then Roxy wasn't able to really force in on the fight. And now the thing about that is you can see already that IGP are starting to lose the rotation game, and that's something that's very big in Arena of Valor. If you're able to rotate from lane to lane and you're able to kind of use this to keep getting resources and whatnot, you kind of start to win the game. But now IGP being able to take out the top tier 1 and then into the Spirit Sentinel, definitely going to help them out. But of course, to trade that up, USG take themselves the Abyssal Dragon, but still, first tower will be IGP's.
That first tower really did close out the gap between both of these teams. Oh, Annette, Roxy might be some trouble being caught out. KA and once again knocked far away from the team. Chobis tries to create some space, dying towards the back line. Hard to lock him down as he just tumbles and clears the ways really quickly. Mai has to rotate in with the Omen.
That's some really fast rotation there from IGP. That was way too quick for my eyes to kind of see. Roik is here into the top side. He should be able to clear out the waves just a little bit. Nice pull from Mai there, but of course not enough to win out this duel just yet. Annette is going to be joining in onto the fray here, and this is a quick one from USG. But while that is happening, look into the bottom lane. IGP are using the Violet. They're using the Ormar. They know that the Violet is super strong at taking down towers with her attack damage, and they're making it work. They're trading objectives against their counterparts.
Yeah, they do need some more items on towards this Violet. Only the rank breaker completed. Does still need a Clave Sancti at least to start dealing these massive amount of burst damage on towards this Violet. So they do have to watch out. Oh, nice ultimate from Illumia, locking this. Slash Moon tries to back up, but Chobis gets bursted down, and Turtle has to try and clean this out. Soda freezes himself, but will he survive? No, he is just slightly out of vision, out of range. Turtle continues chasing, but not able to close out the distance as they lose the Illumia for nothing.
That was such a close call for Soda. He was so close there. It does at least, kind of well enough for him that he does have that stasis to keep himself on track, alive, and that'll be good and well as they do take down another. No, they don't take a tower there, but they got a good chunk of kills in that particular team fight. Now, up in about 10 seconds is the Dragon. 30, it's going to be the DS lane, and almost 7 minutes into this game, I think they might not. They might go for it. They're pretty beefy as of the moment, and if IGP don't catch air of that, they might actually just try to make that happen.
They're still trying to buy some time for Dime to reach his next item. They really need that Clave Sancti on this Violet, because before that, if she does not get that, the damage output coming from the side of IGP is just way too low. Only reading the rock, only the real one dealing damage. The Illumia does still need a couple of items as well.
They're charging that. What the hell? Lack didn't even anticipate that to happen. Dime is here though. This could actually turn around right now. There's so much damage with her ultimate. They're chasing him down. They have to respect that Dime is there to kind of keep them on track. Hippie though is actually denying them with the Ryoma. Great amount of stun with his poke. They get the mid tier 1. They get Lack. They lose nobody because of how Hippie played with that Ryoma. Incredible performance for him. They try to get at this blue buff. I believe they were able to actually steal that. Another objective into their sights. And look at this. As IGP back off, there is the Dark Slayer.
Look at that once again. That was just too fast for the eyes to see, and this following up fight, there was just so much things that could have went well for the side of IGP, but they just kept not able to finish things out. Look at the amount of HP on Dejiwoo as well as Soda, way too low. And for side IGP, they could have gotten way much more as well, but once again, 4 versus 5 is always difficult. If Lumia was there, that might have just changed things completely.
Man, it's Hippie. It's Hippie and his long finger. He's able to
reach that distance.
Exactly, he's reaching that distance. It's working out well for USG here because of how the Ryoma is playing, and now because of his investment to his team. I mean, they're not out of the woods just yet. There is, of course, the power on this Violet. But they do have the Dark Slayer, they do have a Drake. It will be pushing into the bottom lane. And while that is happening, USG will be creating a lane or a wave towards this mid that also has the cart pushing for it. That will be big for them. Are they going to actually go over the wall? This could be bad for USG if they try to force that, though. Which they don't.
They do still have the Slayer buff, so they have that slight advantage in team fights. Looks like they will force the Drake down towards bottom. Fennec is already there pushing it out. Rotations are coming in towards bottom, choking them out, making sure that there is no sort of rotation to stop this Fennec from getting a tower.
The timing for USG here is not as good as it seems to be, because Rourke is actually in the top lane and he got the top tier 1 to destroy. So Unsold Stuff not perfect with how they push, but they make do with it. They actually are going to be forcing maybe a 4 versus 4 team fight here, but Ryoma is way up into the mid lane. They have to kind of concede at this dragon here, or this Drake rather. Might not be too good. There's actually going to be the kerfuffle onto Soda there, onto the mid lane. Not too good if you think about it. And now here it is. Dying from the backline, hammering them down, chasing hard onto Mai. He's going to be just paper to this Violet who's already fed. And that is a double kill out of nowhere for IGP. Missed positions all day long for USG on that one.
And that was the Clave Sanctity completed, and the spike was very apparent as the damage just came out huge. Chobits with the lockdown just now, and then Dime just able to shoot at multiple heroes. Just proving way too much for them to deal with, and they're gonna get 2 towers really quickly, and suddenly things have been turning around for the side of IGP.
There you go. From having 2,000, 1,000 loss in terms of gold to already 3,000, or 3,000 into the lead. This is looking pretty good for IGP. Now in 20 seconds, Dark Slayer should be coming up, and I feel like Unsold Stuff should try to counter that just because Violet is already online.
Yes, this Muramasa is almost completed as well, and that's going to be so much damage coming from this Violet.
Maybe they can try to go for a Death Brush or something. There it is, Dark Slayer's up. They're not recalling back into base, they're respecting it. They don't have Omen here though.
Roxy pushing forward. He's the most farmed hero on the side of IGP. He does have a lot of lockdown. Oh, Omar!
They're trying to run so hard here. They're waiting for the Omen to come in from the other side.
Oh, Roxy. Oh, the Lumia ultimate just blows them up. And that is one hero down. Deju gets knocked down as well. Hippie gets control, tries to back up, but Ryoma, what can you really do against all this damage? Oh, tries to fight back, almost brings down Dime, but not enough, as Dime able to bring down the jungler on the side of USG, and this might be yet another lane going towards the way of IGP. The inner tower is falling, and it is going to fall. Are they going to try and end this right now? Dime, not much HP left on him. Also gets pulled back by the Omen.
There's Fennec onto the side. Oh, he immediately gets crashed upon. He can't really do it. And that is going to be game number 6. We're going to go to a final game here. IGP keep themselves afloat. And they make it so. We're going to go for a game 7.
What an absolute turnaround of a game. The game, the map just seems to be what 60-70% controlled there by the side of USG, but one team fight just absolutely turned things around. And once the Violet just got online, that was all she wrote there. The Violet as well as the Oma just started destroying the side of USG and Roxy. Despite the bad start at the beginning in the lane, did manage to just create so much havoc in the fights and forces this into a game 7 here. IGP claws their way back, and a sigh of relief from all the Vietnamese fans. One of their two favorites is still left in the fight. The other favorite, of course, is Team Flash, playing tomorrow against AHQ. Once again, look at that.
It's not yet over.
Not yet over for both these teams. One more final map to find out who will be moving on towards the semifinals. Ooh, what a long and gruesome day for both of these teams.
I'm not sure if USG was just that afraid of IGP Gaming getting the Dark Slayer, because they knew that Mai as the Omen was very, very far, and then they immediately tried to collapse. When they tried to move forward, that's when IGP knew that they can actually go in, follow up with the ultimate of the Illumia, lock them down, and that was all she wrote. So the thing I think that went wrong there was USG were a bit too impatient, yeah, to try to contest a big objective. Granted, it's a big objective, but if you're gonna lose all your teammates, might as well just give it up and try to fight again in your own base, you know, home court territory and all that. But it seems like it kind of backfired for them, and now we're on game 7. But like you said, it's the reset of the heroes.
Turtle here with the key player of the game on his rock, plenty of damage dealt, and taking a lot of damage on himself as well. But ooh, the Illumia ultimate at the end really set things up.
I actually thought that Illumia would be much of a non-factor here, but it's more of like she didn't really do as much damage. That more of that she just used her ultimate to
set things up with the vision.
Exactly, there you go. That's the word I was looking for. Setting things up.
Yeah, and that I think at the last fight, if I remember correctly, with the Illumia ultimate, they instantly blew up Slash Moon, and then that just became a 4 versus 5 fight, and which the Oma as well as the Violet just started taking over. Ooh, way too much damage coming from them. That's why people always ban out the Violet in these sort of situations, because once you reach a certain critical mass on that hero, he just starts shredding the opponents.
And I mean, with that, we're gonna go to a game number 7.
Yep.
There you go. I was trying
Game
to count
number
on
7.
my fingers.
Final map. We did not expect the first series of this quarterfinals to go all the way here. We expected a 4-1, a 4-0 going towards the way of IGP, but they started out very slow, came back strong, got almost knocked out here, but they are still keeping their life here in the arena of Valor International Championship 2019.
So I guess that's it for now. Don't go anywhere though, because we are gonna come back with the game number 7, the grandest of grandest in this quarterfinals day 1. I mean, it's only the beginning of the playoffs,
day 1,
and we're already put to the test here. And are you guys also put to the test? Put your support in the chats, in the YouTube comments, hashtag IGP win or hashtag USG win. We have put ourselves to the utmost extreme. These players have done that. So anyways, this is the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019, presented by Tencent Games, Garena, CJ, ENM, OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall. I'm Asarai. This is Zero. Don't go anywhere. Game number 7 will be going under, so we'll be right back.
ต้อนรับเข้าสู่ ROV Valor Pass ซีซั่น 11 พบกับแครี่ที่พริ้วที่สุดเอรันดอร์และรางวัลที่พิเศษกว่าเดิมพบกับหน้าภารกิจที่คุณคุ้นเคยจากคัมภีร์ทั้ง2เล่มคือคัมภีร์แบบฟรีและคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์แบบใช้คูปองผู้เล่นสามารถปลดล็อกคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการใช้299คูปองและแพ็กที่พิเศษกว่าเดิมคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ขั้นสูงบวก20เลเวลรับฮีโร่ใหม่เอรันดอร์ทันทีในราคา549คูปองโดยจะมีเวลาทำภารกิจ4อาทิตย์ทำให้รับรางวัลได้เร็วกว่าเดิมพร้อมค่าผลงานที่เพิ่มมากขึ้นต่อภารกิจผู้เล่นสามารถเพิ่มเลเวลของคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการเพิ่มค่าผลงานซึ่งจะได้รับเมื่อทำภารกิจโดยมีทั้งภารกิจรายวันและรายสัปดาห์หรือผู้เล่นสามารถเพิ่มเลเวลของคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์ได้โดยการใช้คูปองจำนวน50คูปองต่อเลเวลเมื่อคัมภีร์ศักดิ์สิทธิ์เลเวลอัพถึงระดับที่กำหนดผู้เล่นจะได้รับของรางวัลสุดพิเศษอย่างเลือกรับสกิน1ตัวจากทั้งหมดที่กำหนดเลือกรับฮีโร่1ตัวจากทั้งหมดที่กำหนดรูปโปรไฟล์ลิมิเต็ดสุดน่ารักท่าเต้นเอฟเฟกต์พิเศษต่างๆภายในเกมฮีโร่ใหม่เอรันดอร์และสกินสุดเอ็กซ์คลูซีฟฟอร์จูนเทเลอร์เซฟิล่าพิเศษถึงวันที่1ธันวาคมนี้เท่านั้นนอกจากนี้ผู้เล่นที่มีเลเวลถึง60จะได้รับสิทธิพิเศษหมุนกงล้อแห่งโชคชะตาเพื่อรับของรางวัลพิเศษรูปโปรไฟล์สกินลิมิเต็ดและไอเทมมากมายพิเศษเมื่อคุณเลเวล60ภายใน7วันแรกคุณจะได้รับกรอบโปรไฟล์และเอฟเฟกต์สังหารคูปองแล้วพบกันใน Valor Pass ซีซั่น 11 เริ่ม4 พฤศจิกายนนี้
ท่านมอทัศเคยได้รับพรจากฮอลลี่ไลท์เพราะฉะนั้นท่านถือว่าเก่งกาจที่สุดไม่จริงท่านเทนต่างหากที่เก่งที่สุด
นี่อย่าทะเลาะกันสิ พวกเจ้า2คนน่ะเป็นเพื่อนสนิทกันไม่ใช่หรือไงฮะ
ใครจะอยากเป็นเพื่อนกับเจ้านี่กันข้าก็ไม่ได้อยากเป็นเพื่อนเจ้าเหมือนกันแหละ
ตอนนั้นพวกเราก็ทะเลาะกันเพราะเรื่องแบบนี้สินะ ท่านราชินีนะสามารถยิงธนูสยบราชาปีศาจได้เลยนะ
แต่ว่ามาลอสเก่งกว่าราชาปีศาจอีกนะ
นี่พวกเจ้าเนี่ย
ราชินีก็เก่งกว่าอยู่แล้ว
เลิกทะเลาะกันได้แล้ว
เจ้าไม่เชื่อข้าหรือไงอ่ะ
นี่ข้าน่ะไปเจอที่หนึ่งมา เราลองไปเดินสำรวจกันมะ ถ้าเป็นเพื่อนกันจริงแล้วก็เจ้าต้องไปกับข้านะ มาเถอะหน้าเร็วสิ
กราบเธอฉันว่าเราไม่ควรมาที่นี่นะ
จะตาขาวไปหน่อยเลยนะ เฮ้ยนี่เมาเซีย รีบมาดูนี่เร็วเข้า ไฟดวงเนี้ยสวยมากเลยนะ
เฮ้ยอีลันดอร์อย่าแตะไฟนั่นหลบไป
เมาเซีย ไม่นะ นี่ข้าทำอะไรลงไป
อีลันดอร์เจ้าจงไปสำนึกผิดต่อต้นไม้โลกเสียเถิดบาปของเจ้ายากที่จะอภัยได้แต่ถึงแม้จะขังเจ้าไว้สัก100 ปีก็คงไม่อาจชดเชยสิ่งใดได้เพราะฉะนั้นเจ้าจงออกเดินทางตามหาวิธีฟื้นคืนไฟแห่งดวงวิญญาณเสียเถิด
เลิกโทษตัวเองได้แล้วอีลันดอร์พี่อีลันดอร์พี่ครับเฮ้ยทำไมเงียบไปอ่ะพี่เป็นอะไรหรือเปล่าฮะ
นี่พวกเจ้ารู้อะไรไหม การมีเพื่อนที่คอยปกป้องซึ่งกันและกัน ก็ทำให้พวกเจ้าเป็นฮีโร่ที่เก่งกาจได้นะ
ยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ฮีโร่สปอตไลท์วันนี้เรามาพบกับเอรันดอร์ฮีโร่ประเภทแครี่ชีวิตนั้นงดงามเสมอดุจดังบุปผายามแรกอรุณสกิลติดตัวโซซิล 1. การโจมตีปกติจะสร้างโซซิลใส่เป้าหมายเมื่อครบ3 ครั้งจะสร้างความเสียหายเวทแก่ศัตรูในบริเวณ 2. เมื่อใช้สกิลหรือเก็บโซแลมการโจมตีปกติครั้งต่อไปจะโจมตีเพิ่ม1 ครั้ง 3. ภายใน3 วินาทีหลังจากใช้ทุกสกิลของเอรันดอร์เขาจะสามารถกดซ้ำเพื่อย้ายตำแหน่งไปยังโซแลมได้ทันทีสกิลบัตเตอร์ไฟวิงเมื่อใช้สกิลจะพุ่งไปยังทิศทางที่เลือกโดยทิ้งโซแลมไว้ณตำแหน่งเดิมตอนเลือกศัตรูโดยการกดสกิลนี้เข้าไปโจมตีแล้วรีบกดกลับอย่างรวดเร็วสกิลบัตเตอร์ไฟแดนซ์เมื่อใช้สกิลจะสั่งให้โซแลมบินรอบบริเวณและสร้างความเสียหายเวทรอบตัวโซ กดสกิลนี้ทิ้งไว้เพื่อใช้เป็นโอกาสหลบหนีศัตรูในยามคับขันอันติเมตสกิลมอฟเมื่อใช้สกิลจะส่งโซแลมพุ่งไปยังทิศที่เลือกสร้างความเสียหายเวทและผลักศัตรูทั้งหมดในระยะหลังจากนั้นโซแลมจะค่อยๆเคลื่อนที่อย่างช้าๆไปเรื่อยๆผลักศัตรูที่ประชิดตัวออกไปเพื่อให้เสียเวลาเข้าประชิดหรือจะใช้สกิลนี้หนีศัตรูเพื่อไปยังทิศตรงข้ามความสำคัญที่สุดสำหรับเอลันดอร์ก็คือความคล่องแคล่วแครี่คนนี้มีสกิลที่ถูกออกแบบมาเพื่อจุกโดยเฉพาะเขาสามารถไปทางซ้ายและไปทางขวาในเวลาที่แทบจะพร้อมเพรียงกันได้หากตัวผู้เล่นเข้าใจขั้นตอนในการใช้สกิลของเขามากดีพอในช่วงต้นเกมการทำดาเมจของเขายังค่อนข้างต่ำแต่เขาก็สามารถใช้บัตเตอร์ไฟวิงช่วยในการกดดันเลนได้โดยการยิงทีเผลอการเคลียร์คลิปของเขาจัดได้ว่าไม่แย่เพราะสกิลติดตัวของเขาสามารถสร้างความเสียหายเป็นบริเวณสำหรับการต่อสู้กับฮีโร่หากเป็นฮีโร่ยิงไกลด้วยกันแล้วเอเลนดอร์อาจจะต้องใช้จังหวะยิงฟรีเพื่อสร้างความได้เปรียบในการแลกแต่หากต้องปะทะกับฮีโร่ตีไกลเขาจะได้เปรียบมากเพราะเขาสามารถใช้บัตเตอร์ไฟวิงและบัตเตอร์ไฟแดนในการหลอกสกิลทิ้งระยะและหลบหนีได้แบบต่อเนื่องจนยากที่สายประชิดตัวจะตามทันนอกจากนี้อัลติเมทอย่างม็อบยังใช้ขัดจังหวะทีมไฟท์และจังหวะไล่ล่าของศัตรูได้ดีมากเอลันดอร์สามารถเล่นได้ทั้งป่าและเลนแล้วแต่คุณจะเลือกอย่าลืมกดติดตามเพื่อชมวิดีโอใหม่และไลฟ์สดก่อนใคร
No sense in running from me.
Back. Legendary. Legendary.
อย่าลืมกดติดตามเพื่อชมวิดีโอใหม่และไลฟ์สดก่อนใคร
ครั้งนี้ห้องเราต้องชนะ ขอลูกแบงค์หน่อย เฮ้นี่มันไม่ใช่ลูกแม็กซ์ซะหน่อย
ไฮเยเท
ขอเงินตัดผมหน่อยสินะ100 เดียวเอง ขอร้องล่ะ ไม่งั้นฉันแย่แน่ๆ ขอบคุณนะ
ไฮเยเท
เฮ้ย ขอตังค์กินข้าวหน่อยเด
เราใช้ไปหมดแล้ว
นั่นไง
เป็นควายเหรอ ไถเก่งจัง
ว่าไงนะ
ออกกำลังกายเหรอ กล้ามใหญ่จัง
ใครเตะวะ
ไฮเยเทเท
เอ๊ะโดนจู่โจมแบบสายฟ้าแลบมาชมคนอื่นว่าน่ากินแบบนี้มัน
คาราเกะ
ขอให้เลี่ยนตาย
วาซาเบะ
มีของอร่อยไม่แบ่งเลยนะ
อะไรก็ไม่รู้เล่นเกมดีกว่า เฮ้ฮีโร่ตัวใหม่นี่นา ชื่ออะไรกันนะ
ไฮเยเทมีคาราเกะด้วย
ค้างเลยว่าห้ามเต้น
คนเต้นกินลำกินมันเอาตัวไม่รอด รอดสิ
ยังไง
หนูรอด เพราะหนูรำ
รำอะไร
รำ 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 โอ้ยรำ
ลำไยเหรอ
รำคาญด้วย รำสักทีรำดาบ
นี่นะ นี่พ่อไง
แกไม่ใช่พ่อฉัน
เก่งนี่
ใช่ ฉันเก่ง แม่ภูมิใจในตัวลูก แกก็ไม่ใช่แม่ฉัน ใช่แล้ว
นี่พ่อเอง
พ่อ
นี่นะไฟเตอร์คนเก่งของพ่อ
ขอต้อนรับเข้า
Okay, I don't speak Thai, but I have to actually ask whoever understands that, what in tarnation is the meaning of that commercial? Now, it's obviously it's Yenna,
Yep.
but the message, who did she slay? Was that her dad? Did he turn into like a monster or something? And then the mom turned into the dad? And it's like, oh, you're back alive. What?
We'll have to check the comments, for our Thai
Please,
fans,
somebody help us.
Yes, what was going on there? What was the moral of the story? What were they trying to portray? We'll never know. But hey guys, welcome back to the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019. And this is Game 7 coming up between USG and IGP.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty spicy one as we go into the finale of this quarterfinals match. I mean, looking back into that Game 6, it seems like it was a done deal for USG,
Yeah.
but there was a bit of a hitch there. They had to finish the game as quickly as possible. That's why they wanted to go for the Ryoma. It was working out pretty well for them, but there was that one fight that really trampled their sights where they kind of force it really heavily without having mind at the front lines. And when you don't have an Omen to kind of help you out in a fight, especially against a Violet, it does tend to be a bit hairy for you, and it seems like it's a bit too much for USG to handle. They lose that one, and now here we are, game number 7.
Game number 7, everything is reset. No more global ban pick. This is just the classic draft mode between both of these teams. So we're expecting, all the Hayates to come back up, Omen across both sides. They are just going to focus on all of these, what they have tried and tested and proven to be very successful. We will be expecting to see all these heroes coming up in map number 7.
And what's going to be very important as we start this fight is that USG will be the one to get that first pick, so they can try to maybe steal away some pretty important picks away from IGP. But this is a pretty fresh game. No bans just yet. Again, reset on every picks here. Darcy off of the board. Maybe they'll also remove the Crickneck. Turtle's been pretty scary with that one. But if they're not careful, they might give IGP a strong two-setter lineup. But if it's not going to be the Krizix ban for IGP, that's going to definitely go into Dejuo's hands. And then IGP, I'm assuming, they're going to go for Hayate Yenna start. Because it's just really strong, and it's, again, an open-ended pick.
Yep.
Sets you up.
They have the option to go for the Hayate or an Omen. Both very strong. Krizix is left in the pool if they want to go for that as well, but looks like they will opt for the Yenna. And then I think we'll see IGP go for the Omen plus Hayate. Or something along those lines. Hayate is one of their staple picks. They pick it when they can throughout the group stages. So we might see that in repeat as well.
They still have 20 seconds, 25 seconds on this timer before they really have to lock it in. Big hover over Diana, or it's already locked in their heads and they're just using this extra time.
To think for the future picks.
Yeah, exactly. To think about what the other matchups will happen and what they have to use in order to win that.
Oh, changed their minds almost at the last minute. Goes for the Lindis as the first pick.
There's still a Krizix Hayate here. Lindis doesn't really counter that. She can at least scout them out, but I don't think she can counter Hayate as well as we think she can. But again, this is just going to be a really strong ADC in the jungle that can really help out Unsold Stuff Gaming when they need to kind of push down the lanes. She provides a really nice amount of damage output, and it seems like it's not going to be Hayate. They want to fight range with range. Elsu and Krizix, here we go.
Plenty of mobility on the Krizix, providing the invis as well as the ultimate. For the team, Elsu, of course, having the superior range against the Lindis, but not the easiest target to hit. Lindis is just so speedy when you play around the bushes.
Oof. Crixie already locked in here. I'm liking how Unsold Stuff are so aggressive. I kind of just saying, we're going to get top picks, not you guys. Yeah, the Krizix is there, but we have a lot of counters for the Krizix. Crixie is definitely a one to match that up. They can also maybe even go for, if they wanted to, a support right now first. Don't really look for a jungler just yet, or go for the DS lane and then just show them that they actually will be a Lindis in the AD. Actually, no, this can actually still go for the ADC role because they did not pick a jungler yet.
Yep. Omen hovered over.
Diana. It's going to be an even matchup up until the Omen starts to get his items.
Yeah, Omen, one of the core favorites of IGP. They pick it whenever they can for the side of IGP throughout the group stages. So
this is just some really nice pick-off though for IGP. Krizix and Omen work so well in tandem, and you have your Elsu to just kind of snipe rather from the faraway plains. They respect the Kriknak. They respect it so much, so they're gonna ban it away.
Yeah, Kriknak Omen just sets the tempo so fast for the side of IGP, and the potential to go straight towards the backline, go for your Crixie or Lindis is very easy for the Kriknak to just go for. So not letting them have that option, banning it out. We did see Turtle play an absolutely crazy Kriknak as well, so definitely a worthwhile ban for the side of USG.
I can still ban another jungler. Muret is actually still up and available, and since the first pick for IGP is theirs on the second rotation, it's not a bad idea to try to get that Muret out of their hands, but it seems like they're gonna provide a little bit more love for Crixie in the mid lane.
Banning out the Liliana.
Exactly.
Still plenty of mages towards the mid that they can go for.
I think this is gonna be a Murad. No, they actually hover over the Diao-chan first.
That leaves Murad a possible pick for USG, but might not be the pick that they want. They need some frontline. Oh,
well, they actually got both frontline and Murad.
That is a very scary lineup just to go with. We have the Omar providing the crowd control in the front lines, and then the Murad just slashing through as the best he can. If they lock this down, this is just going to be so strong here for the side of Unsold Stuff Gaming.
They can maybe even trade out this Ormar for a Baldoom if they wanted to. If they need a little bit more disable, but it seems like they need a little bit more frontline, a little bit more in-your-face crowd control, so they are going to be sticking with the Ormar. And now the final pick is going to be the jungle for IGP. They've already taken the Murad here, so what can IGP kind of look forward to in this particular picks?
They do play quite a bit of actually, they play a bit of some Zephys, some Varus. Looks like it will be the Zephys going towards the jungle. Some more frontline, some more crowd control for the side of IGP. I like the Zephys pick. Provides them more aggression and a way of initiating, because if you look at the heroes on the side of IGP, they only have the Omen to really initiate, but with Krizix, Zephys, as well as Omen, they can really go into your faces with all these 3 picks for the side of IGP.
The thing about IGP is that they might lack damage at a certain point in this progression of the game. Elsu will be the one to deal the most amount. Zephys is just there to kind of provide a little bit more tankiness for IGP, and then overall, I feel like it's going to be a much funner game for USG to kind of start this off. But of course, IGP, they're threatening, their lockdown, their combo play is going to be so powerful coming into this one. It's going to be scary for both teams to interact. So what do you think? What do you think, Zero? Do you prefer the IGP comp or the USG?
I think if IGP is able to just stall out the game, wait for Elsu to get 2 items, and then ramp up the aggression from there, or they just ramp up the aggression from the start and don't give the USG any leeway, they will be able to take this game out. But if USG gets off to a great start and starts snowballing on their Murad as well as their Lindis, this might be over for the Vietnamese team. So it really all depends on the early game. The early game is just so important. You have the Omar, you have the Crixie, that's just a recipe for very early game aggression. But if you don't get any objectives out of it, that might be the end of the road here if you are playing as the Japanese team in AIC. And here we go. This is map number 7 between Unso Stuff Gaming from Japan and HVTC IGP Gaming from Vietnam, who will move on to the semifinals. This is the map to decide it all, as we have USG on the blue side and IGP on the red side.
And whatever happens, both teams did not disappoint to provide an entertaining day/night to our viewers. AIC 2019 playoffs started off with an incredible bang. And here we are, like Zero said, this is it. The final straw is the final countdown.
One of the favorites versus pretty much the underdogs of this entire tournament.
I gotta say that strategy with the Elsu is very unfair. Like, you can clear the wave with your mage so quickly, and then they can use that
to
rotate that fast. Soda, though, okay, I don't know.
You want to steal out Turtle?
There's like 2 other members here. He's gonna get caught. That's the thing. He's gonna flicker over the wall. Ormar's here, though. Nice dodge from Soda. He actually still survives, keeping himself afloat for such a long time. But Chobi's joining onto the fight, and that's gonna be it. No more flicker for you, son. And that first blood will be had by IGP. I don't know what he was thinking about going into that one.
That just compounded what you said right before he got caught out, is that once you get that early clear, mid-wave clear on the rotation, you can just go up to the top, clear that wave really quickly, and then start pressuring with the rotations. And that just paid off in dividends for the side of IGP as they get themselves the first kill, which was onto Soda, the mid mage on the side of USG.
Not only was it the first kill that is allowing IGP to start this off, but check this out. Because they forced Mai to back in the top lane, because they forced Lindis to back in the bottom lane and get the kill on Soda in the mid, look at how much gold is already in the hands of IGP. There was around 1,000, now a 500 gold lead for them, and they're making it work for them. Now KA is onto the run. Deju will be coming there with a charge, with a slam down, but it seems like he's not going to be enough to kind of keep a kill onto the side of IGP. And this is going to be IGP, though, not getting something for themselves, but will leave Dime into the bottom lane to actually get the first tower very quick on that rotation. And this is already IGP saying, we are here.
Oh, Hippie drops down quite low by the snipe coming from the Elsu, so they have to back him off. Oh, Soda might be caught out and gets bursted down there by Turtle. That's the power of the Zephyrs earlier on, with the amount of crowd control as well as closing power coming from this jungle hero.
They know that the Golem's not actually done. Hippie's not going to be able to maybe get the last hit. He actually still does, but the pressure is there. No ultimate here for Hippie. There's the snipe. It didn't connect. I think it was at the last edge of the skill there. It could have been so big, but look at this one. Here comes the force back of USG. KA's gonna get knocked up there. Pretty strong damage, but look at Laklak staying into the middle of everything, and this is the perfect angle for a Diao Chan to dominate, decimate, and destroy USG. Here now, left, right, and center. Does get caught in the middle against Soda, and now here comes Hippie. They have overstayed their welcome, and this is gonna be the members of USG saying, get out of our lane. Hippie has to stack for his support turbines, and he is just out of position here. He has to back off, so it is there to hold his hand, but USG at least fend them off, but advantage IGP.
That was absolutely crazy. Laklak actually just walks away from that, not losing his life, and his huge ultimate in the jungle area just made the fight so difficult for USG. They had no vision, no control over the Diao Chan, and he just walks away from that unpunished. Absolutely crazy play here coming from the side of IGP.
Looking at how this kind of game rotates here, with the bottom tier 1 already destroyed, they have to put Lindis on a lane that's safer so that she can just keep on farming for the moment. Lindis should hit her spike around 8 minutes in, so that's sort of 4 minutes from now. That's a good chunk of time for IGP to get the advantage that they need. And it seems like they're not going to allow Slash Moon to get his positioning here. Here's going to Dime. Look at the damage. He's just so on point with this. He's not missing his shots at all. Similar to what I believe that was Olympus's players went up against IGP as well. You know, I'm trying to remember the name.
Still, Dime just really, as a ADC, has really been setting up the tempo here. His snipes on point, keeping the fights towards the favors of IGP, and he is just constantly just providing pressure on his own. Slash Moon can't really pressure in terms of range. Out mid lane, Hippie trying to get the stacks to use the temporal turbulence to maybe snipe off someone, but not able to in time, and Hippie has to back off right now. He still is quite farmed here for the Murat, so not snowballing yet, but getting to that point if he gets a couple more kills towards his favor.
That'll help the case here of Unsold Stuff Gaming. Having a Murat that can actually deal good damage with his temporal turbulence is going to be crucial for Unsold Stuff to, you know, really get some W's here. Dejua is eating a couple of sniper hits there, but of course there's the clear of the wave for Lindis. Turtle is in a really weird spot, will get slowed down by Mai, but he spotted that Hippie was right there onto the side. They're going to be forcing this wave to crash down onto the tower, but because it's just one minion, I don't think it's going to net into anything. Now hold that thought, here's going to be a big fight right here. Hippie tried to stack up his ultimate. There it is, good damage though, but Diao activates the ultimate there and there, but of course Yena is the duelist to be had. KA though, oh, right into the face. That's the power of the Omen for you. Flickers in, pushes him back, pulls him in, and that's going to be a double kill for KA. IGP right in the precipice of getting more advantages away from USG.
Zephyr's just way too tanky. Even for 2 heroes, he just stood his ground, used his second skill, get some health back, and just continue fighting there. Zephyrus might have been the perfect pick here for the side of IGP, as it's just constantly dealing damage, playing in the front lines, and pair it up with the Omen, you have suddenly 2 very difficult heroes to deal with. And that just creates so much space for your Diao Chan, for your Dime to just deal damage and crowd control on the backlines.
And aside from, you know, all of that, there's still no towers destroyed by USG. There's a big ultimate activated here from Soda, but once that actually is on cooldown, they're going to go and activate the ultimate of Lack. Spotting out Mai here onto the side, they have to kind of respect him for now. KA's coming into the middle of the fray, but this is a 4 versus 1. Even though you're such a strong Omen, it's still like to be enough. Hippie though, he wanted to go for that temporal turbulence, but he had the ultimate to work with. Slash went onto the side, he really wants to get the kill onto Chobits. Here comes Hippie, almost gets the kill onto Dime. He does activate the Reaper's Blessing, so that's going to keep him alive for just now. Beautiful stun though, Lack gets invaded upon by USG, and that is going to be a kill. That is going to be the top tier 1, but looking into the bottom lane, it seems like Cephas will actually be taking the bottom tier 2. 2v1 scenario. He's able to actually stay alive in this one, but underneath the hit of the towers, it's still not going to be enough. They push him back, and this is Unsold Stuff Gaming hanging on.
That was absolute perfect play. A lot of individual plays that are coming from the side of USG, able to get those few kills, as well as the bottom kill on towards the Zephyrus. Really important to stop the snowball coming in from that jungle hero. Turtle, despite his great start, is just got knocked down there. He is the most farmed. He is more farmed than most of the heroes on the side of Unsold Stuff, but nice team play, pushing him to the tower. Like you said, Omar there really making a huge impact on towards getting that kill on the Zephyrus.
This is a problem with like a fed Zephyrus. He's not really the strongest damage dealer.
Yeah.
He's a great duelist and an overall tanky guy, but being able to deal the damage that you need, not really in the hands of him, depending on his build though, but still, at least at this point, they want to build him as tanky as possible to help the Omen kind of absorb the damage that will be coming out from USG, and that damage is going to be insane later on.
And he does have the rank breaker as well as the completed jungle item, the axe already completed as well. So mainly playing, like you said, for a tank. His damage items will come later on. But right now he's still pretty much farmed ahead. Even the Omen looking at his items. Ra already completed, and he's just completely demolishing Mai here onto this Yenna. There's no fight to be taken. Mai just has to back off.
She's healing though. She's healing right enough. Can she actually get away? One more hit. That's gonna be it. KA actually gets it. Caught in the middle of Soda there though, but because doesn't have any teammates with him, or rather with her at around that time, it's just gonna be Senna, or rather Yenna, removed from the table. Oh no.
That's just KA absolutely styling on Mai there. Knowing his strengths, knowing that he is stronger than the opponent at the current moment. Chobits goes invisible, scouting things out. That's going to be the top tower freely taken there by Dime, who is getting to his critical mass here. Muramasa as well as Fenrir's Tooth already completed.
Because Mai dropped to KA, since like 2 members of USG had to try to force KA out of the bottom lane for him not to take the bottom tier 2, this allowed IGP to just rotate around the other side of the map, get themselves a couple more advantages, that being top tier 1 and the jungle camps in the blue side of USG. That kind of play is not supposed to happen. You have to respect that Omen as he progresses into his fight. Even though he can get bursted down, it has to be somebody who's damage heavy. Yetta, yes, but not in the sense that the duel is not really that strong against KA here. KA is so strong right now. He doesn't even care anymore. Gonna stay into the middle of the fight. Mai's gonna go in, but the Diao-chan is actually there. Activates the ultimate, pushes them back, but at the end of the day, they actually caught Rock in a hard place. Only Soda to remain with Mai. Doesn't get any shutdown at all onto Lack, and Soda doesn't even have his mana anymore. It could be a flicker over, follow him up. Turtle really wants some blood there, but has to respect that. But this will allow them to get that Darkslayer as well.
KA on this Omen just makes me want to buy Omen right now. I don't have the hero yet, but oh, that's definitely in my shopping list right now. Absolutely crazy hero, and they're going to go straight for the inner tower here. Going to take it really quickly. Oh, KA going forward, going for Soda.
Soda should
drop the damage
here. Look at that. They just had to respect him.
Oh, that flicker and goes for the Mulan as well. KA, absolutely insane play. Gets shut down in the end, but wow, just absolutely styling on towards the side of Anso stuff. He could have backed off, he could have flickered away, but no, he wanted to assert dominance over Hippie, and he gets that final W, despite dying in the end. We're still in this.
Let's look at that replay right there. Soda did a fantastic job kind of defending their mid-tier 3 for as long as possible. Now here comes the Temporal Turbulence. Actually, there was no Temporal Turbulence because Hippie had to stack it on the opponents right there. He was frantically trying to make something happen, and because he wasn't able to stack up, because he wasn't able to, turn invulnerable, it just backfired onto the Murai. Granted, he really wanted to, get that shutdown because everybody, I think, would have been super low, and some of them might have actually got knocked out if he got a Temporal Turbulence out. The thing is, he got too excited. He got too way excited for that.
That's going to be one lane down here for the side of USG. Your winning chances slightly diminished here as IGP Gaming has taken control over the Darkslayer lanes, and looks like that will be where they are priming to go for next. USG doesn't want to leave this area because they know that once they show up on any other side of the map, that leaves the Darkslayer open for IGP to pick up, which means that they're not able to continue in their farming. Their economy is just going to be stuck here as they just wait for the next fight.
I mean, if IGP picks it up, they're going to be in worlds of hurt because if you can already see how big of an advantage IGP has. Turtle is onto the side. He's just waiting for the proper time to just dive right in. Spots out Dejual, has to respect him just a little bit, but as Mai comes into the side, he's going to try to 1v1 KA here, but this is going to be a 3 versus 1. They're initiating the fight. They actually spot out onto Chobits, but this is going to be Mai for Chobits. I don't think it's a fair trade, but seems like you find a method to the madness. Finds Dime in the middle of everything, snipes him out, and now the tables have turned. They've actually have done the fight that they need to, and USG, they're freaking geniuses. They found a way to bring it back only actually not losing anybody. Darkslayer is open. Mid-tier 1 is actually there for the taking, and they can get themselves some pretty hefty objectives here.
Their movement was just perfect, catching out Dime, catching out Chobit without any repercussions, and then Slash Moon just kiting over and over again. Zephyrus, you could see him just constantly trying to find out where the hell is this Lindis, but the Lindis was way too smart, way too far, way too fast for him to chase up. And right now, the game is not over yet for the side of USG.
In the mighty words of someone who said it before me, it's not over till it's over, player. But it seems like this is going to be it. The final show, the final countdown. They have taken down Soda. Maya's already done to the count. And Slash Moon is auto-attacking to his heart's content. But it seems like this is going to be the revive for KA, as he does have the resurrection up and running for him. There is a Drake that's pushing, but it's actually still here onto the river. Hippie does spot out Lack Lack from up afar. But at the end of the day, this is still 4 versus 2 in the scenario. There's a wave pushing in. The Nexus is already exposed. Can they really defend it? That's going to be the case here. Slash Moon getting Dark right in. Does he have Flicker to get away from the grasp of Turtle? One more auto attack. That should be it. And IGP keep themselves alive. And they get the win. They get the series. And they're going to the semifinals.
What an absolutely heartbreaking finisher for the Japanese side. They played to their heart's content. They played their hearts out. They tried their best, but in the end, IGP was the superior team coming out on top. But they should be proud of themselves. They made the series so close, and they just made the entire nation of Vietnam hold their breath as they went on to map 7 of this best of 7 series.
An incredible performance for both of these teams. And of course, special thanks to True Online and True Icon Hall. They're gonna be our finals, venue.
Venue sponsors.
Icon, Siam.
Whichever you want to take.
Yeah, if you're Southeast Asian, it's Siam. If you're really fluent in English, it's Siam. So pick your poison, guys. But incredible performance. I don't know what could top that off, but I mean, we're just on day 1 in our playoffs. There's still so many more
that just
gonna follow
sets
up.
our expectations so high for the next few series. I mean, tomorrow we have another great matchup. We have Team Flash facing up against AHQ. Two of Team Flash, of course, finished first in the AOG Winter, qualifying them for AIC 2019. One of the favorites to take the entire thing as well. They were the winners of AWC 2019 as well. I mean, representing Vietnam, of course, but still, they have today has just been an absolutely crazy series. I mean, look at that. Japan should be proud of their players, of how far they've reached. And of course, our key player of the game, it is KA, who played an absolutely crazy Omen. Well deserved there for KA.
Nigh unstoppable. I really wondered why my forced engagement onto KA 1v1. Maybe he was trying to get an advantage for his team. Granted, actually got the shutdown onto KA, and he can keep dueling this. That could have been a really good, how do I say this, kind of advantage for USG. But at the end of it, it wasn't. And that Game 7 still going to the hands of IGP. Well played, well executed. See you guys in the semifinals.
Yeah, well played to both ends. And what a way to finish the first day of the broadcast of the quarterfinals for the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019. So, before we close things out, what do you expect for tomorrow? Because today has just been an absolutely roller coaster of a series. I mean, you start off 2-0, and then you end up with IGP 1 game away from being eliminated to right now, them qualifying to the semifinals. That has just been absolutely crazy.
Honestly, I don't know anymore, because I have this set predictions already in my head. I was like, oh, it's gonna be
who's moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah, I have my predictions and whatnot. Maybe I'll post it later on my social media, but I mean, it's just, I don't think we're going to be seeing regular games anymore. These are games where these guys are so creative. They're going to be able to keep stealing games away from each other. And maybe these next quarterfinal matches, we're all going to go for Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot more different than group stages. Every single team is playing for their tournament lives right now. And, AIC 2019 is the precipice. The summit of Arena of Valor throughout the year is this event. So every team is bringing out their best. Every trick in the book, every strategy they've prepared has come down to this. So we will not be seeing, I don't think, any easy pushovers, even if it's the first seed against the fourth seed, like we've seen today. This has
That's
just been
true.
an absolute treat for us to cast, and what a way to end the night.
And guess that's about it, guys. So that means the day has concluded. IGP Gaming gonna go to the semifinals. USG did a fantastic job at putting up a fight. They were close too in winning Game 7.
So close.
Yeah, but IGP showed how knowledgeable they are. It seems like they had more experience against USG. But coming back, maybe next year, USG, I'm looking forward to seeing them, perform even better. So without further ado, this is the Arena Valor International Championship 2019, presented to you by Tencent Games, Garena, CJ, ENM, OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall. My name is Asarai. This man with me is Zero. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for more AOV action. Ciao, ciao.